What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at.
Some interesting hands that the gang played this week. Ricci, narrate the hand. Tell us what you think.
Okay, so the fallback one. Nice, yeah. So the person, I don't have much information on them. All I know about them is they seem relatively controlled. And obviously, when we both started this pot, we were both, well, effective was like 150 big blinds deep.
Mhm.
Um, so they opened obviously middle position. I then three bet. They
Mhm.
four bet, which already in my player pool is a condensed range, right?
Yeah.
They don't have many four bets. They under four bet, should I say? And there's not much four bet buffing going on. So I just call behind because we're deeper stack. I don't feel comfortable five betting and potentially either folding or getting it in because I feel like that would narrow them down even more. So I'd much rather play post flop.
Right.
Um, so we obviously go to the flop with me calling in position.
Mhm.
Uh, Flop obviously two diamonds, jack of spades, four of clubs. Most people are just going to continue, right? Like I feel in three and four bet pots, the most
Yeah.
of the time the aggressor just continues, right?
Yeah. And he bets
So
small. He bets small enough that you definitely want to lose 12 more big blinds.
exactly, that's what I thought. And I knew if a king came on the turn that it doesn't necessarily mean it's my pot.
Nope.
Um, so yeah, small enough, and so many people continue a bet. I'm happy to call, right? Another thing on the back of my mind was I had the ace of clubs, right? And there's a club on board, and if it became a club, that was just something maybe I was thinking about too much. And I thought that could potentially give me opportunities to bluff or steal, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I call 12 big blinds into a 30 big blind pot, 37 big blind pot, should I say. And then the king comes. The pot is now 62 big blinds, and they continue, right? Because the king is in theory favored for them because they're the aggressor. Um, so I still call, right? I didn't really consider raising here, but on reflection, I know I've actually put this onto a Discord channel. And on reflection, some people said you could consider raising here, but I didn't. So my thought was, obviously, I'm still losing to aces. They could still have pocket kings, right? And I want to keep it. They could have jacks, and I want to keep in potentially their bluffs. So like queens or draws. So like an ace suited type of hand or ace 10, not draw into a flush, etc.
Mhm.
Ace queen, blah, blah, blah. All those bluffs I wanted to keep in. Where if I raise, they would likely fold, and I'm condensing their range to the top of their range, right? So I don't know if that was too safe, if anyone at this point would already make a different decision and potentially raise here small. Um, but I opted to just call, right?
You're in position. You're allowed to just call this. You could certainly you're not wrong to raise it, but if you want all the money to go in on the river, it's going to go all in on the river. You
Yeah, and that's what I thought, right?
yeah,
They
you
could
don't
put
have to
it
raise
in
it.
all in as a bluff, they could put it all in for value, and
Right.
most of the time I'm
Yeah.
probably going to be calling it off depending on the card.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, then obviously come to the river, and this is where I think the biggest mistake was, is they check it, and on the short timer of an online cooldown one, I was like, really, I'm probably ahead, but if I do shove it and they call me, I'm probably behind. But on reflection again, there's probably is a lot of people who would just call me up that I'm still beating. So anyway, the reason I decided to check back was obviously um, if they have ace king, we're chopping and we're just paying more rake. If they have aces, they're still probably calling. I'm losing. I would think kings would still continue, so I had already ruled out that they probably don't have the top set here. You know, some people might check trappy, but I think most people are just going to continue to prevent someone checking behind. Same with jacks, but I think jacks is more understandable to check call here, right? To
Yeah.
get it in. I think jacks is more understandable than kings. I think kings you should always bet. Jacks could potentially trap a ace king, for example. Um, And I don't think they have eights in their range. I don't like it's possible. I'm pretty confident they don't have twos or fours, etc., etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
So their bluffs, obviously, if I bet, they're not going to call with their bluffs. I needed them to bet.
Mhm.
So really, it's either people who are checking me up thinking I'm bluffing, who are going to call me, or um, the small combos that I'm losing to, right? So the king jack suited, the kings, the jacks, the aces, etc. And as I said, potentially eights.
Yep.
So that's why I decided to check back. And on reflection, I feel that's a bit safe. Obviously, you can see here I've hidden their hand, but there's a little bit of a spoiler. You can see I won, so that obviously condenses their range already. But I guess, would you have gone for it all? And obviously, the small time you lose, you just accept it, and obviously the other times you could get called for the additional value.
I have an answer. Anybody else want to answer first?
What kind of player is the guy behind you? What kind of player is the guy
Again,
behind
minimal
you?
information, but all I had from them was they seemed a bit more controlled. I literally only had about 15, 20 hands on them. I joined them when they were already, obviously, more deep stack, showing that they had previously won some pots, and I hadn't seen anything out the blue. So literally, they could have been a fishy player and got lucky on one pot, right? Or they could be, but my indication is they were still quite controlled. I didn't see anything that they were limping or calling oddly, or any hands that gave me an indication that they
So they
were
weren't
a
calling
soft
from the
player.
small blind and all that other stuff. You didn't see anything that was immediately.
No, nothing. So I would err towards them being maybe a stronger slash tighter player. They don't always go hand in hand, right?
So I mean, the board is not wet. The only thing you're losing to here is two pair. If he's a solid player, he's probably not calling behind with any of these two pairs that are available. I would have got no value out of them. If we lose a
Yeah,
jack,
the only potential
Remember, he
one
didn't
I
call.
thought was King Jack, right? King Jack
yeah,
suit. Yeah.
yeah,
One reminder there, A plus. He's
uh,
the one who put in the he put in the 4-bet, right?
right.
We stopped. So he raised, we 3-bet, he 4-bet. So he's not, it's not a calling behind situation. So jacks is there, kings is there, aces is there, queens is of course there, and king jack suited, while it could be there, isn't there a lot.
Out there a
No,
lot.
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
When
I
when you
don't
get
think this
when you
player
get
pool
3-bet
has
with
King
king
Jack
jack
suited.
suited, you do a lot more calling, most people do, than 4-betting. Excuse me. Excuse me? Yeah, do I have a, oh,
Oh,
okay.
sorry. No, I just coughed and said sorry.
Oh, okay, great. So here's my very strong opinion about this, which is he has 84 big blinds left and the pot is 142, right?
Yeah.
That's your whole answer.
Yeah.
If he had 200, now you have to think about it. If he had three, if you guys were really deep to where your raise opens you up to a check raise that you didn't want to see, then you have to start, then you have to worry about, is my top pair top kicker not good in a situation where it looks like it's good? There are a lot of cases where this isn't good, but where he checks this river, he has to decide that the way to get value from you is to check and hope that you bet your king with your ace king, as opposed to you call with your king after you've called the turn. Remember, you've called 40 on the turn. So he's got to think that his way to get value best is check call or check raise. And how often is
Yeah.
that his decision with pocket jacks or pocket kings?
I think it's more common with pocket jacks because obviously you're unblocking the king, right? I think kings would maybe continue to try and get the aces to call, or potentially someone who doesn't believe you
Right.
that you're
So let's
bluffing.
so
But
let's put you in.
jacks,
Let's give you with pocket jacks there. You have
yeah,
pocket jacks. The king comes and you both love it and hate it. You love it because now the ace king's going to call you.
yeah,
And you don't think you're up against kings because you didn't get 5-bet. So you're fine. So you love it. You bet 40 into a pot of 60 and you get called. Great. The guy's not afraid of a king. Aren't you going to just, and you've only got 84 left in a pot of 142. Aren't you going to usually, I'm not saying 100% of the time, but aren't you going to usually just jam your jacks and get called by ace king?
yeah, you're probably right. You
Right.
are probably right.
And doesn't king queen in your hand here often check behind? Not ace
So
king.
in my hand,
Yeah, if
you
you
know,
have king queen suited,
yeah,
which you can have in this hand, don't you sometimes check behind this check just in case he has ace king? Because you don't have the best
yeah,
game.
and aces. Yeah, that's true. So,
So if
yeah,
so most of the hands that check here, I mean, yes, there's some trapping. He can be trapping you here, but those hands, most of them, most of the time at this SPR are just going to bet. And if you get this wrong and you bet into his trap, it's less than a pot size bet. You're only the fact that you're 84 into 142 makes this to me a no-brainer.
yeah, no, I think soon as the timer ran out and I kick check, even before I saw his cards, this is not what's it called, hindsight reflection. I was like, I should have shoved that here. I knew at the time, I was like, GTO would shove this, but does player pool shove this? And I was like, yeah, I was really and R, and I thought because I'm indecisive, I'm just gonna check it, which was obviously, in my opinion, too safe, and that's why I'm reviewing it, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I guess I was put it simple, scared, right? Because
Yeah.
there's more, I guess, the amount left in his range, because he's now condensed his range check-in, there is more, I guess, people I can get value from or their bluffs that they're just going to fold to anyway, which is the same as check-ins, compared to nuts that are going to either call me or, well, I didn't ever consider betting small here. I was always going for it all, right? I was always going to just shove
Just
or
shove it.
fold, shove or check, sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet small here.
So
what would-
I just think on reflection, right, there is so little that I'm losing to that I should just be shoving here.
But also, here's the thing. You can still lose this hand, but you're losing 84 more chips in a pot of 142.
Yeah.
So what does the bet on the turn tell you? What is the bet
Well,
on
the
what is the
bet
bet
on the turn
on-
tells me
Yeah.
they're either representing range that they potentially have a stronger king than me, or they have the net advantage, aces, kings, etc.
The 3/4. So what would if you were playing this on the turn, what hands would you overbet the turn if you were him?
He didn't know, Adrian.
He didn't overbet.
I know that's what I know.
Oh, what
That's
hands would you overbet? Okay,
what hands would you overbet on the turn?
So if I was him, what hands would I overbet on the turn? It would probably be jacks,
Would you overbet aces on the turn?
aces. I guess, yeah, you could do aces as well. I wouldn't say I would have, but yeah, thinking on it, you probably could have, right? Because again, ace king's in the caller's range and position, right?
Would you overbet kings on the turn?
I don't think I would overbet kings because obviously you're blocking, having top set, you're blocking. They could have jack set, etc. But it's queens, it's ace king would probably still call your overbet. But yeah, you're really hitting the top of their range and you're blocking the top of the range, right? When you try overbet with, I guess, kings.
Right. So the way the hand went, it went 4-bet. You called a 4-bet. He has you with ace king in your range, right?
Well, he has it within my range, but it doesn't necessarily. I can't say he's going to put me solely on that. And if he is, or if they are,
So
then they shouldn't be putting me down on one hand.
right. So the point is, if you were him, would you target ace king with an overbet in this position if you had jack?
Yeah, I think so. If I had jacks, I would probably do it. But again, just because I would do it doesn't mean they would, right?
Right. But we're saying that we're just ranging here. So the point is, if he has a super strong hand that does not include a king, and there was all that action pre-flop and you called the 4-bet, then the 3/4 pot bet kind of tells you something about his hand, right?
Excuse me. I don't think you have to use overbet here.
You're talking about on the turn,
I-
right, Kira?
On the
Yeah,
turn?
I don't think an overbet's compulsory because, right, as you can see, without him even overbetting, we're already under pot bet on the river, both of
Yeah,
us, right? Like
Mhm.
he's a 50%, right?
He went three.
Basically, overbetting here is committing to if you're going either value or draw, not value, sorry, you're saying here that you're trying to isolate draws with your overbet or really target the top of their, I guess,
Well,
value
if I
slash
have
range, right?
jacks, I'm overbetting the turn, targeting ace, king, or king, queen, or something.
I think this is overkill because of the SPR. I don't think you ever use overbets here on turn.
How about Tura? How about if you had pocket aces without the ace of diamonds? Would you like to,
Um,
overbet the turn? I'm talking about any.
I would only
not-
use one sizing, and it's 2/3 like he used.
2/3 is a super common sizes from our opponents. We see 2/3 way more than we see overbets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
I-
4-bet pot. The pot is already so big, you don't need to use overbets.
Yep.
Yeah, I would be more concerned if this person overbet, right? Because then I would probably be, yeah, it's very polarized, right? Not many people overbet in the lower stakes, and especially in a 4-bet pot, and
I honestly think it's a mistake to overbet here.
yeah,
So-
I don't think I would find the overbet out of position, but if I'm overbetting, I think aces is reasonable.
Mhm.
Jacks is also reasonable, but the problem with overbetting here is yes, you're charging the draws. Yes, you're potentially charging the top of their range, the ace king, right? But you're also kicking out the queens, like you could get another call off. You're kicking out
Yeah.
some of the draws that, yes, you don't want them to get there, but don't have, I guess, the equity to call.
Well, if I have jacks, which is it seems to be what you're super concerned about is jacks. I unblock ace, king, king, queen, aces. They wouldn't be aces though, things of that nature. So I am targeting. I would overbet here, targeting the king.
But
Gotcha.
you
If I
will
had
get,
jacks.
if you had jacks here on the river, you get all of it with jacks.
Yeah, if it were me, if I had jacks in MP's position, I wouldn't overbet the turn.
You wouldn't?
No, I would bet around his size because I want to because he called me. So if I'm lucky, he's got the ace king, in which case I'm going to get all his money on the river, no problem. But when he had queens here and he was careful, the overbet might get the queens to fold, and I don't want queens to fold. I don't want tens to fold. And I'm willing to give diamonds I'm willing to give diamonds and ace queen a smaller price in exchange for getting those other calls. If I've got jacks, I don't need this to be a 2-street game. The only hand that I would think about overbetting, and the overbet's kind of is the overbet a jam there? No, it's just an overbet. Would be pocket aces without a diamond. That would be the
Does
one.
Solver have any overbets here?
I think reasonable. I think the aces are a reasonable overbet with anything else because again you're going for the protection and then still charging. I think anything else you're potentially, is it value owning yourself the turn?
I think for simplicity you only want to use one size here on the turn.
Hijack goes 24.
You bet all the range you want to bet with this size, and you check the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're
because it will be hard for you to balance both sizes.
Yeah.
No, that's completely fair. I think that's very true, actually. Just keep it simple, right?
So deeper in peak, hijack cutoff, when the hijack comes around and does this, peak does not jam the ace king pre-flop. At 100 big blinds, it mostly jams it. So this is fine because you were about 150 big blinds or something like that.
Yeah, 150 big blinds.
Right,
Yeah.
but to get a post flop out of it, we're going to go 100 big blinds because this is peak. So we're going to do hijack raise, cutoff re-raises. Hijack goes here, and we do the rare call of the ace king. Perfectly fine. It exists. We do that. Flop.
Yeah, it's obviously increased in a full bet pot, right? The amount of times you call.
Our flop is, read it off to me.
In a deeper stack pot, sorry, should I say?
It's jack of dime. Read me the flop again.
Sorry, I put 2 screenshots, didn't I? It was 2 of diamonds, jack of spades, 4 of clubs.
Diamonds, jack of spades, 4 of clubs. Good. He bets out as small as he can. There we go. We do not fold ace king yet. We have not lost enough money with ace king. We get the happy king of diamonds. Hooray. Now, his bet of 63 would be all in, so that's uninteresting. So we're going to have to give him this size to get the question. Okay. Oh, so first of all, does he have overbets? Yes, he does.
What is it? That's
63. The pot is, no, it's not, the pot is actually 74 here because we have this weird SPR problem here. But he does have jams and he has bets. He has both. And the jam is any of the aces can do it, with or without the ace of diamonds. It's fine. The jacks can do it, and the jacks can also get cute.
yeah, the jacks want to keep him in.
Yeah, king doesn't get very cute very often. So he does his bet there. And you don't do very much jamming because you're in position. You can get the money in anytime you want. The river was the what of who? It was the blank of blank.
Ricci, you with us?
The river was an 8 of hearts.
Yeah. The blank of blank. When he checks, the solver 100% puts the ace king in for the last 45.
Yeah, so I knew the solver did, and I actually checked on GTO, but I did it manually. I didn't upload the hand, and I've run out of my what's it called checks now, so I can't reshare it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I knew I was confident GTO would anyway. I just wanted to check if I understood it correctly or not.
Yeah. So here we go. So yeah, my simple answer is SPR jam. Because
Fair enough, I thought that was the case.
because you can't re-screw yourself. You can only screw yourself once, and that's fine.
You can always
Yeah, so I miss value, right? Because I know there's times I get called and I lose, but I think
Queens might
in
call you.
essence, yeah,
Queens might call you.
Queens might call me checking it. It turned out, obviously, the mystery hand, you can see I won, but it turned out they had King 10 suited. Yeah.
Queen 10 suited, they calling you.
Yeah, I know, and I was thinking that there's a chance they might not call, but I think they're probably going to call me, right? They're
I know.
probably going to call me.
Yeah, this is uncomfortable after all that action.
Yeah.
But these are the spots that we have to take because it makes a big difference between being profit and being unprofitable. This is a lot of
I
big blinds.
100% agree.
And here's
And this is
like
also
85 big blinds, right? Basically, I've missed out here. It's
just
And
very
here-
quickly, this is also the power position, right?
Yep.
I mean, he's now told you his hand strength. And you gotta take this spot.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, but you gotta take it.
And here's one other
Agreed.
thing about this one, which is on your sizing on the river. I'm going to argue against any size smaller than the jam, smaller than 84, because if you bet 20 or 30 like that to really, really try to get him to call with queens or ace jack or king queen to make sure he does, and he jams over you.
You're
Are
not
you
feeling
going-
comfortable.
You're not comfortable, but are you going to fold for 50 more big blinds in this pot with top pair, top kicker?
Probably not, right? Probably not.
Right. So if you're not going to fold, then when he does trap you with jacks, you lose 80 big blinds. But when he doesn't trap you with jacks, you win 30 big blinds. So you need to bet 84.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
agree.
reverse value on yourself or whatever that term is. And now before we do the next hand, I'm going to show one hand where I made the same mistake. So
All right.
even though I quickly said to you, oh, this is easy, here's me making the same mistake. All right, I got to move you guys out of the way. And it happened to be the first hand in my thing. All right. We raise kings. We get called. Oh, the one note here, which is when I played this hand, I looked to my left and I saw that player 6 was like their hand. Player 6 was not folding. So I went up from 30 to 40. That's
Nice.
why I increased size, was I was getting a call. Now I didn't do anything ultra cute, like see that player 6 liked their hand so much that they were going to raise. So I limped to raise to re-raise. I don't remember the tell. I don't remember if the tell was that there were 30 chips in the hand. I think the tell was merely taking the chips and capping their hand. So they were playing the hand. So if I limped, they might have limped also.
Just a quick question, because I'm trying to integrate this more completely into my game, what this technique that you're using, looking behind and seeing what people are up to. I mean, okay, so you don't look at your hand probably, then you glance rather quickly, spending 2 seconds on each player, seeing if you can have any quick tails tells that you can integrate. Is that about right?
No, less time. It takes less time than that. In all the previous hands, the first thing you've looked at is who looks at their hand early. Who could possibly be exhibiting a fold tell?
Okay, so now you
know who looks at their
who
hand.
gives away the tell.
Yeah, who might, because the people who don't look at their hand early tend to not look at their hand early ever. They have the same rhythm as like I just never look at my hand early, neither do you. You're looking at other things. So you see who's looking at their hand early. Then you start, then in all the hands you're not in, you say, can I predict what this guy's going to do? If you're getting accurate with them, by the time you get to these kings, you're not looking at every player for 2 seconds. You're looking at one player or two. The ones who are exhibiting fold tells are the only ones you're looking at. And it doesn't take more than a second to see it because they're not hiding it. They look at their hand and they go back to reading their book. Or they look at their hand and they pick it up to throw it. Or they look at their hand and they put chips on their fucking hand. It's not subtle. People who are exhibiting a subtle fold tell don't bother with, because you might be wrong. I'm only picking up on the people who don't care because, and I've done this speech 1,000 times, because the people who don't care don't care.
Got it.
Right. Okay. So this guy probably, I don't have the note on it. It just says all my notes said there's a call tell to my left. So let's just assume all this guy did was looked at his hand and put chips on top of it. He's playing the hand. Therefore I can raise to 40 instead of 30.
Got it.
So I raised to 40 and he calls. And the straddle comes along and calls too. Great. 2, 4, 5. Wonderful. Straddle bets out pot.
Well, he's got the fluff to do it.
Yeah.
What's do you have a player class on straddle?
Nope.
Okay.
Although 2, 4, 5 is a donkable hand. 110 is not a GTO size for multi-way.
No, I mean, this should be,
So
even heads up, this is a B33. Why would you want to pot if you're at top of range and generate folds?
Right. And also, while this is a donkable flop, heads up, our donk frequency multi-way on these pots still goes way down. So he does this. I think my answer is I have position on him. There's no reason to raise. I'm never going to fold. And if I call, player 6 could make a mistake.
Okay.
I don't, there are all kinds of hands that have me beat here that he could do this with, and all kinds of hands that I have beat that do this. He could do this with 7s easily. He could do this with ace 5 easily. Happily, he would do this with, could do this with ace 5.
Ace 5 is a
Pocket 4s, 5-4. So the hands that beat me are out there, and I have lots of equity against them. The straights probably don't do this. Who bets out with their ace 3 or their 3-6 for 100 and tries to get folds? Nobody, right?
Yep, this is not, that's why Solver never does it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
this play is claiming nutted equity.
Yeah.
When you don't like this.
Right. And I don't think that people play their nutted equity like this, but they play 4-5 like this.
Agreed.
Sure. So call, there's the fold, easy. Ace comes. This card is terrible and good for me. He checks it. He checks the 4-liner, which he could easily do with a 4-5. He could choose, to do that. Do you want to bet right here?
I think you have 2 options. I think your options are check or bet small and overfold to a check raise.
Yep.
So I would consider a check back, or I would consider betting around 100.
Right. Yeah, I think both of those are good. And then if you get check raised, you get check raised. And if you bet here and he calls, I think I don't bet the river.
I agree. And this is a little bit of old school.
Yeah.
Buying a river check back.
Yeah. So I chose the check line. And here is where I played exactly the way I told Ricci not to play. He checks, the 5 comes and he checks that too. I have the best hand here.
Yeah, this is uncomfortable.
I have the best hand here. That is such a weak check back.
We have sevens,
Yeah, it's 6s.
sixes, yeah, sevens, sixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, lower pair.
This is what size? Okay, well, let's go over what size we could use here. Well, first we need to do that, we need to understand what his likely holdings are.
Hmm.
So what are his so when we get to river after check, check, turn, and he checks
Actually,
again, what are his likely holdings?
Okay, you want to look at the river? You want to look at you want to look at our read on the turn about betting, or do you want to go all the way to the river?
I think your check is fine on turn. Let's talk about river where I think it's pretty clear we missed value. So question becomes, does he have traps? Of course. But what are his likely holdings?
6s through 10s
Yeah.
are very likely. Ace deuce and ace 4
Yeah.
are possible.
Mhm.
That just
Not
got
super
counterfeited. Yeah. That's a good
super
point.
likely, not super likely when he checks the turn for the one liner, because how many 3s do I have? But he
Hardly
still
any.
could do it. He could
You have
still
no
do it.
3s.
Yeah,
You have 3 combos of 3s.
yeah. I mean, I could open 3s, but once I, he could check. He could check the turn with 2 pair, but rare. You think he's bet? I'm expecting a bet from 2 pair most of the time. So could have the ace deuce.
So you're discounting 5-4.
6, 7, maybe. It's possible.
I'm super discounting 5-4 when he checks the river.
Okay. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I'm just not super discounting. I'm just not super discounting the ace deuce ace 4.
So there is a risk that he did have ace deuce ace 4, which he knows are now counterfeit to your ace queen, ace king, ace jack.
Yeah.
And that's driving his check.
Yeah.
So that maybe makes the value bet thinner.
Yeah.
But so maybe I'm not as adamant that you need to take this spot as a value bet.
Right.
Because that portion of his range, but does he donk? No, he's not gonna donk and then shut down when he hits 2 pair. That's bullshit.
Yeah, not with a 3. I mean, there are 4 liners that he would shut down. This does not seem like one of them.
He's not shutting down turn
Not with,
when he turns 2 pair and you've called a pot size bet.
yeah,
And he's getting full value from ace king, ace queen, ace jack.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
NBA tells us that it's 4s or 6s or 7s or something like that. A pair of 4s, maybe even a pair of 2s. Yeah.
You mean, wait a minute, you mean,
Or
you mean,
Mass data, the data analysis. We
oh,
did.
right, you mean, you don't mean pocket 2s, you mean,
No, I mean just
a
any
2, a 4, yeah.
9-2, 9-4.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Play was fucking gangster on flop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think your check back is egregious when you take consideration.
Yeah.
I don't
Now,
think your check back is egregious.
Now here's where I think my check back, I think my check back was bad. And there's a note here when I say these question marks mean that I sat there and thought about it. I didn't, it wasn't like, I'll check. I went, and then I went, I don't fine check. This was me fretting over playing it bad. But the one difference, Richie, between this hand and your hand is that mine was put in a replayer before, so I'm a better person than you. And
Agreed.
and there's 1,300 behind. So when I bet my one, because I'm not betting big here, because I've got to bet small, because I've got to be called by 6s through 9s, right?
Or four or deuce or something like that.
Yeah, I gotta be called by, I'm not trying to get called by an ace here. An ace beats me. So I've got to bet small. And when I bet small, I open it up for a possibility of a hard decision. Small relative to this pot being 100, 170, maybe 200, something like that. In your hand,
I don't really have a decision, basically. I just
Right.
shove and they call or they don't, right?
small is small is 82 relative to the pot, and you're done. And that's as wrong as you can be. You can only screw yourself once. I can screw myself twice. So that's the difference there, in my opinion. All right. Let's do let's do Richie's next hand. And then we'll go
Scotty.
on to Adrian's hand.
Scotty.
Yeah.
What do you do on your hand here, on your straddle hand with kings? Assuming you get the flop, go back to flop,
Mhm.
and let's assume player 3 doesn't donk into you.
Oh, just like on the flop?
Yeah, so he checks
But I bet for
on you
I bet 40 I bet 45.
always.
Yeah.
You never check back there.
No, not on the
Okay,
same.
and then
I'm getting called because I'm getting called by an ace.
okay, and then player 3 check raises.
I'm calling and unhappy.
And
Now,
then
if
okay.
player 6 calls, and if I bet player 6 calls and player here check raises, I start screaming, Joey, Joey, Joey. And then I go, fuck Joey, and I call anyway. But I do, and then I fold the turn when he continues. But yeah, I call it check raise.
Okay. All right, cool. And yeah, I'm just curious if you always bet this flop here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't
Theory's
think
gonna
it doesn't. Oh,
check
sorry.
this back because it's so good for big blinds range, but I bet is fine.
Yeah, because it's not like it an ace is not drawing to as little equity as they usually are because a 3 comes. An ace or a 3. So that's 7 outs I'm giving to any ace. And there are aces out here, right? I raised, I got 2 calls. People have aces.
Yeah.
Aces exist.
So was this before or after Knuckle?
This is before Nuffle,
Before
and
Knuckle. Okay.
and I would not be thinking strongly. I would not be thinking strong Nuffle here, in a multi-way pot with a pot-sized donk. I'm not saying the MDA is wrong. I'm saying that I wouldn't go, Nuffle here.
Mhm.
I'd go, Nuffle, and then I'd look at my hand and go, Kings.
Because I think one thing that we've talked about on this call, and I think we've seen it too when we were doing our multi-ways, but like Jonathan Jaffe would recommend that you check, I think, right?
There are absolutely some checks there, but the more people out of the things that push us more and less in that direction are the number of players, only 1 left to play. The board texture. Do you think this board is highly stabbed by the person behind you? I think that the hands that they stab with are calling me. So the money goes in either way. So they're calling every pocket pair in the deck. Or raising. They're raising the deuces, 3s, and the deuces and the deuces, jacks, and 4s. But they're calling everything probably even pocket 3s here. And so I don't need to get them to stab. And if they don't stab with an ace on, we're going to my board. Sorry, my board. This one. Yeah. I think every pocket pair in the deck, in player 6's hand will call my bet. Or raise it. And there aren't multiple players to see. There's just one. If this had gone call and then a call from the button, yeah, I'd consider checking this. The kings and go for a check raise against check, bet. Stab. I would consider check raising. So there's my answer.
Do we want to look at A plus's
Ricci.
hand, which we,
We're gonna look at Richie's second hand and then we'll look at A plus's hand.
okay.
All right. Richie, other one. There we go.
Mine, this one is just a really quick one because I haven't like hidden the outcome at all.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
literally just showing how Nuffle works and
Mhm.
that I shouldn't have given up on it, basically.
Okay. So, narrate it for us.
So pretty
Need
much
a-
standard Nuffle situation. It was the one
Need
reason
a
I gave up
screen
on here was
share,
because it was
guys.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
Screen
not
share.
sharing again?
Yeah, screen share, please.
How did I turn off the screen share? Where did that come from?
Funny, I was having that first, I didn't know.
There we go. Screen share. All right. Sorry, guys. I don't know when I stopped sharing screen. All right.
Yeah, so this is obviously they led out on I opened the button, which is quite a wide range, they call, and then they just led out. The flop is good for them. I understand the lead out, but they're a broken stack, right? And yeah, they have had a wide range anyway. It's not like they're playing as a good broken stack, if that's a thing, but they're just doing all sorts of stuff. So I felt this was a perfect Nuffle candidate. That I've had plenty of successful Nuffle ones, but this is I shared this one because I should have stuck to it, right? And you can see why. But yeah, so they led out, obviously, I just call. They then continued their bet on the turn. I have nothing, right? So I followed the process of raising their bet plus the pot.
Nice.
They then called and basically
Surprised. I'm
instantly
surprised they called.
shoved. Yeah, they instantly shoved before I could even realize that I've gotten a jack. And I was like, okay. And so I did, obviously, before I folded, was like, I've got a jack, I should be calling here in regards to Nuffle. And I was like, this feels like it could just be an ace who's missed a draw. And that was literally what went through my head. But I was like, it could also be someone who just has a pair, right? And maybe I'm still beating it with a jack and I should call. Maybe they have the two pair. Maybe they have the ace jack and have got there on the river and have just decided to shove. And I probably just overthought this Nuffle, right? And then I folded, right? And as you can see, they showed me the ace queen, right?
Yeah.
Because
The
they
first
basically
question-
they shoved me twice. No, they donked into me twice, right? On the flop and then technically the turn because I raised them.
Yeah.
Oh, the river, sorry, because I raised
Yeah, they
them
donked
taking
3
aggression.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed a very similar hand last week, which was a live hand, and they also windmilled their bluff in my face. So the way I would think about this is classify our hand, right? We now have a pure bluff catcher. We're not beating value.
Right.
The second question I would ask myself is this an under or over bluffed line? I kind of think on this river, we can find a lot of bluffs. Now, I may be influenced obviously by seeing the hand, but people certainly are going. I have a hand I'll show later where I get dunked into and I fold, but this is uncomfortable to hero this because you just showed big aggression on turn with your imposition.
Yeah.
And then he does this. I've said this a million times, but I think, when we do raise the stakes, when we make this aggressive play on turn, people do get a little bit more wild. Not everyone, but some players go turtle up, but others get a little bit wild, like what this guy did. And I think there is a player class that decides that they're going to go a little bit crazy. But there's another player class, which is probably me, that turtles up.
From his point of view, when you raise the turn, you are looking like not a lot of deuces. You could play a deuce this way. You could play ace 4 this way. You really could. But
Ace 4 would be a perfect hand to play this way.
But 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. Could they all play this way? They all could. So there are a lot of hands that don't like none of your hands like the jack. That's the only thing we know.
None of your,
None
none
of
of
your
your nutted
logical
equity,
hands. None of your logical hands like the jack.
yeah, that's valid.
Your super nutted hands don't care, but the jack improves none of your hands in his mind. It actually improved your hand a lot. And so I guess that's a little bit of his invitation. Maybe he saw that.
That's valid. One way to
Also,
think
but-
about this is also pot odds, right? So he bets, he's a broken stack. He bets 40 into 50, right? So you're being
Yeah.
offered, I think, around 30% if I had to ballpark it, maybe 29. And so
40, you've got to call 40 to win 90, right? Well, it would be 130. Sorry, yeah, it'd be 130 win it, 40
Yeah.
to win 130 plus your, yeah.
You have
so
to be
you're
right. You have to be
you're-
right less than 1/3 of the time.
Yeah, so you're getting really good odds to call here.
Yeah.
And
You
so
make money.
I think when you look at this and you say, is this an under overbluff spot? I think this is overbluffed. And you look at your hand strength, you look at your pot odds. I think you get to a call.
Yeah, I think you're right, and especially this player type. And I hope this is not what's it called hindsight, Karen, but this player type just, screams someone who's just going to randomly chuck it in to try and win by blind aggression, right? If it's a bit more controlled player, which again, we probably wouldn't be in this situation because we wouldn't have used Neville, but let's just work on the basis that I showed aggression and then on the river, they've then gone aggressive into me against a good player. I think potentially maybe more underbluffed, but against a weaker player is more bluffed. Do
Yeah,
you think that's
I
fair
think
or
that's,
not?
well, there certainly are people, yes, I think against a good player, they are going to have some top of range donks here. But when we player class someone, the first thing we notice is that he's donking from small blind, which probably doesn't exist on this texture. And so he is, we can already classify him as a bit of a spewer, bit spewy. So I like your play, but I think we can get to a fold when given pot odds. But I'm sorry, we can get to a call given pot odds. But I will say that I think Nuffle on rare occasion will blow up in your face a little bit like this. We didn't see it with Mike's hands though.
Of course it was. So I have a question for you regarding or along those lines. What percentage, given what we know about Nuffle and player pools, what percentage of the time does this player have a 2 versus 6s or 7s or ace queen? What do you think?
Well, I mean, you have to give him, what's it? Do we know his VPIP? This is on a GG type site, right?
Yeah, this
I'm
is
just saying-
GG, so I
Yeah.
don't have the
You don't have that.
recorded,
Doesn't
unfortunately.
feel like it.
In general, when we're seeing donks, what percentage of the time what percentage of the time is that jack not beating the donker's range? Like 20, 30%, something like that?
Like, so what percentage are you?
Low. It's low because his donk is rarely top of range, and therefore in this situation we're talking a deuce. A deuce and pocket threes are top of range here.
Right. So the question is, are you willing to lose your stack 30% of the time?
Are you willing to lose? I don't know if, I frankly
Are
don't
you
know if we
willing
look
to
at it
lose
like
your
losing.
stack, or are you willing to wipe him out or lose your stack, lose whatever it is in that pot 30% of the time? Are you willing to win it 70%?
Maybe
Yes.
the way I would look at it is, do we think, given his betting line, his range, and player class,
Right.
are we winning more than 30% of the time? If we're winning less than 30% of the time, we fold. If we think we're winning more than 30% of the time, we call.
So a profitable call would be 51% of the time.
No, profitable
No.
call here. Oh, you mean making the decision at the very beginning whether to go Nuffle or whether to just fold
Yeah,
jack?
yeah, if this is a Nuffle guy candidate, if this guy is a candidate for Nuffle, and this situation comes up, you know that 70% of the time he does not have 2s or pocket 3s. 70% of the time.
And you
So
call
when
it.
he makes that play on the river. The question is, am I willing to win this pot or lose it 70% of the time?
Yes, you're willing to win. You're absolutely, given the numbers you said, you absolutely are happy to win it. You're
Then
happy.
call. Then
30%
call.
and call, yeah.
Then call.
Yeah.
Then
Um,
call.
now let me say one thing on the other side of this, which is not one thing. Nuffle doesn't tell us anything about what to do on the river here. There is no Nuffle node, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, that responds to his bet, his jam of the river.
Yeah, I don't know if if it applies because there is a facing river. I mean, we'll call it a pot size bet here, I guess, or call it 80%. And
Okay.
you absolutely do call. You absolutely call. You call with worse than top pair. You call with
Fine.
middle pair. You call if you had nines.
Then done. Yeah. And the thing I would, and if Nuffle says that, then if that's following this line, that's where we've raised the turn and then we face a river bet, right? I'm gonna make sure
Yeah.
this, then
Yes.
great, then call it. Because I was gonna say that I think that the river is underbluffed. Larry said he thought it was an overbluffed node. I thought it was underbluffed because after someone's bet and you've raised them and then they bet into you, that's them betting into real strength. And I thought that was underbluffed, but Nuffle was based on MDA. It knows.
Exactly, yeah.
It knows,
Yeah.
it knows that of the people who follow this whole line, that was a profitable thing, and I'm gonna believe it. So,
Yeah.
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 Well, one reason I showed this is because I'm probably just going to follow it in the previous situation because it just shows it's right. I know this in theory is a more small sample size, this one particular hand, but it's based on a large sample size mass data, right? And it just shows you they do it. And if I had followed it, it would have been profitable, right? And that's why I've showed it is that yeah.
Yeah,
I
It's
should
an
have called.
interesting hand, though.
Even if you go back to basics and look at the pot odds, I should have called removing Nuffle. But yeah, it was just funny. I thought I just chuckled because I was like,
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
theory. That's the theory behind the mass data analysis, right? I mean, you could have called and he could have had Queen Jack and you would have lost and you would have thought, oh well, Nuffle sucks, right? Well, that's not the case over, hundreds of hands. Like over my sample, I have what, something like 250 hands. I don't win every single hand. It isn't always
exactly.
successful.
Yeah.
But to the
Yeah.
percentage that it needs to be, it's very profitable.
massively profitable.
Yeah, and that is a big. Like if I had called that right, those amount of blinds is a big contributor to the
Yeah.
amount of blinds you win over the time, right? So I've again value owned myself by not doing that, and there's a knock-on effect. But yeah, I'm committed to the Nuffle. Like after seeing that, I'm committed, right? I'm just trusting the data.
Hey, plus, is this on ACR? I think I recognize some usernames.
Yes, it is.
All right, so here we go. So this is A+'s hand. He gets raised, just a tiny bit over 2, so 2.02 or something, 2.2, something like that, whatever. Calls the jacks, not the standard thing to do, but a completely reasonable thing to do. When I say standard, not what we mostly usually do there. He does it that time, great. Gets the call there. Flop goes check, check. Sure, absolutely bet this, no question. Easy bet. Get raised. This is terrible.
No, it's not.
Now let's see what happens with run too good.
Yeah.
He folds. I don't think you fold yet.
Mm-mm.
I think you need to lose more money or win more money.
Mhm.
Calls. Gets the 3. Starting to get problematic.
Mhm.
If he jams river, if he jams river here, I'm gonna fold. And so am I gonna fold now? You don't have the jack of diamonds.
I don't have the Jack of Diamonds.
That's good.
That is good, yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
Okay. You call. Okay, so you just go, you go, screw you, I don't believe you. All right, and you're committed to calling that, you're committing to calling his jam now, right? You're not folding
Mhm.
more. Right? So you just do that. He calls you. That's
Uh-oh.
good.
Oh, he doesn't shove, yeah.
Doesn't shove. That's good. And now you can decide what to do on river. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad.
So you're getting pretty ridiculous pot odds here.
Yeah, because it's only $7.
I mean, work out your pot odds and then make a decision from there. So,
All right,
Mm.
let's, all right.
it's sometimes difficult to do it when they shove and then it's just like,
No, it's seven, so he's gonna put it, so, he's gonna put in, it's gonna be, $15 more that's gonna be in there. So there's gonna be $45 in there.
mhm.
And you're gonna have to call 7 to win that 45, or to put it another way, if you wanna do it as X to, X to Y, then you don't put your money in for it, and you go, the 745 is in there, so it's 40. So 7 is, is, 6, so you're getting just under 6 to 1.
Yeah,
Just-
6 to 1, I think it's a call.
Yeah, just under 6 to 1.
6 to 1's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Also like 14%.
but you're a pure bluff catcher, right? There is no value that he
Oh,
can.
yeah.
All right,
I mean, you're not beating hardly anything here, and I would consider this very underbluffed.
So yeah, well, the one thing I'm thinking is the fold equity. Like I mean, they're probably thinking like they have no fold equity.
So let's go back to Mike. You said, why do you think that you're not beating anything here?
not beating
mean-
anything that's not, that hasn't been turned into a bluff, because a 9 or a 9 or pocket 10s here are a bluff at this point from him.
Mhm.
That's what I mean.
Mhm.
There are hands, there are pairs that you beat, but if he has ace 9 here, this is not ace 9 for value. This is ace 9 for bluff, because your raise said that you can beat a 9.
Mhm.
So that's
So-
what you're not beating anything. You're not beating any value. You're only beating what is a bluff, and ace 9 is a bluff here.
Think 6 to 1, I think, is a 14% equity requirement. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just ridiculous. And you just call and lose. If you lose less than, let's say,
1 out of 7 times.
1 out of 7 times, you are profitable here. You pay the poker gods because of the math.
Yeah, I think if we did combinatorics on hands, I bet you're break even, like even with 14%.
So my question is,
And
when you check raise him here, leaving yourself 7.5, are you trying to get are you trying to get a, what is your reason for raising here, Adrian?
It has more to do with it has to do with the board and the player type.
Okay, talk more about that to me.
I believe that this player type is strongly knuffle. Right?
Okay,
I believe that given the mass data analysis that we did, he's not balancing correctly. He's 80% of the time has either a 9, 6s, 7s, 8s, something like that, 70 to 80% of the time. And if he has a 9 there, he's the type of player that's willing to, at this point, because I only have 7 behind, is going to be willing to commit his stack on a bluff.
okay, well then you
I'm playing the player.
Okay.
Playing the player. Yeah.
So 2 things, given what you said, you got a call, no question.
Yeah.
But I want to correct one thing just you said at the beginning when you said Nuffle. This is nowhere near Nuffle. He didn't donk into you. He check raised you.
He checked. He did, but it's to me, it's
No, not. It's completely different.
complete. I understood that you were going to say that. To me, it is of the same spirit. I'll just say that you're going to have to go back and do mass data analysis on this particular spot, but players, to me, that Nuffle, that do that, they'll do it in more than one situation.
But no,
It's
this
not
is what I mean
gonna
is
be a donk league. Like they'll check raise top pair, they'll check raise just with the top pair weak kicker, they'll check raise 7s, 8s they'll do a whole lot of stuff with me.
sure, but then I want to separate your thinking here. Nuffle was based on mass data analysis of a completely different situation that doesn't
Right.
close to apply here. So you can say, and I'm perfectly fine with you saying this, that I think check raises in 3-way pots against the, against the initial raiser who is in the stab position are, include some nut hands like a 5, but they have a lot of not single nines. They have a lot of 7-8, a lot of 6-7, a lot of diamonds, and even a lot of pocket sixes. And I get that from my experience of playing, and I'm not going to contradict that. I just want to make sure that you're not saying this because Nuffle has shown us anything about this. Nuffle says nothing about this, and I would go so far as to say that this is the opposite of Nuffle. Someone who check raises their hands here has a range completely different. But with that in mind, this is a lot of 9s, some 5s, some 6-7s, some 6-8, some 7-8, some 6s and 7s, and some diamonds, right? That's what this hand is. All right, good. So if that's what this hand is, when the 3 comes and he bets large, not huge, large, you've decided jacks are the best hand. And you've decided jacks are the best hand, and not only that, is he's going to call you with all his 9s. He's not folding to a raise. He's going to call you with all his flush draws. He's going to fold his 6-7 and his 7-8 here, right? He's going to fold a straight draw here, and you're fine with that. Is that your view here?
Yep.
But he's also going to call his 7s and his 8s. A lot of the time to this. Now, how does that change if you jam instead of if you put in the other 745? How does that change his calling range here?
But it doesn't. I could have just jammed there, and I think he would have called regardless. I think he's calling.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's going to call a 9 to a jam. He's going to call a 5 and beat you. He's going to call a diamonds and try to get there. He's going to fold his 6-7 and his 7-8 anyway, and he's going to call pocket 8s, pocket 7s.
He's going to call pocket 8s, pocket 7. Yeah.
Okay, right. So in that case, given your read, you have to call this, even though, unfortunately, in that class of things, the only thing left that you beat is the 6s, the 8s, and the single 9, because now the diamond came in.
No, how many hands is that? How many? So let's count. How many single 9s are there? How many ace 9s are there? How many queen 9s are there? How many jack 9s are there? How
Lots
many
of them.
10 9s are there?
Lots of them.
So how many more 9s are there than diamonds and 5s? What's the
There are more
percentage?
there are more 9s. There are way more 9s than 5s. When you add in all the diamonds, it doesn't matter even if it's the same number because you're getting 6 to 1. There's
Okay.
certainly not
we're-
6 times as many. There's not 6 times as many diamonds as 9s. Who was speaking?
Yeah, I was just saying, so I think this argument is saying that, okay, well, this guy decides to then, after you've check raised him, is deciding to lead with his 9x or pocket 8s or pocket 7s or pocket 10s, or even like, I just don't see him having these hands anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if I had any of those hands, I would and I wanted to play this river, I would check call.
I mean, yeah, he decides to just come out and put the rest of his stack in when the flush completes and an overcard comes. I'm not giving him 6s, 7s, and 8s and 10s and 9x.
Okay.
I don't know. Am I wrong?
Click and see.
You're right, Mike. You're right. I mean, but the pot odds are so appealing, right? I mean, you got a 14%. You got to win more than 15% here. I mean, so the pot odds just are so ridiculous that.
So he has to do
You
this.
got to call. I mean, I think we got to call it those odds were being offered.
So one other thing here. So hands that he would be bluffing that makes sense is missed straight draws make sense to bluff, right? But we've just said that a lot of his missed straight draws folded here, that a lot of his straight draws folded right here.
Unless they were also a combo draw with a diamond.
Yeah, but those count as diamonds now.
Yeah.
And 4-6 didn't get here, so he has no open-ended ones that make sense here.
Yeah, just gotta find 6 times more bluffs than value essentially.
Yeah, and no, we have to find we have to find just over 1/6 bluffs to value to make this call profitable.
Yeah, I mean, at this size, I think it's like a 90-10 value to bluff ratio in theory or something.
And to Mike's point, so if we assume that Mike is right about his 8s, 7s, and 9x, which I think Mike is right about, Mike has to be right, 6 out of 7 times. that he doesn't do it.
Mm.
So, you know, both those,
Yeah.
both our confidence of, we have to find very few bluffs for this to be profitable to call. You know, he doesn't have to have very many of them. And Mike has to be right, you know, 6 out of 7 times that he does not do this with 9x.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
believe Mike is right. All right, let's see what happens. We call
Wrong.
9x.
Ah,
Good job.
It's the same player
Yeah,
type.
interesting.
glad you found the
Same
call.
player type.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that speaks to some of the
Yeah.
experience that we've seen. Like, so I eliminated these hands, but then we have to start including just random stuff. This isn't random stuff, but like we've seen just
Depolarized.
weird, hands we would never consider to be in villain's range, and add those to the list of combinatorics.
Yep. And by the way, I love the fact that if this is what made him decide to do it, if the Jack of Diamonds made him decide to do it, I love that. On
I
his
I
part.
don't think he's that. I don't think he's that learned, to be honest with you.
Unfortunately, his group meets the same time as ours, so we can't know.
I don't think he's that learned, man.
So the
All right,
one
go
change
ahead.
I would make to this hand is if
Mm.
I was gonna, I think your play to raise in position on turn is fine. However, I think I stepped away. You guys might have talked about this. I think a shove is better.
Shove does the same thing and commits him. Yes, I agree with that.
And also,
Your life
you know,
easier.
frankly,
Mhm.
it leads that it reduces your torturous situation where you have to make a
Oh, this
weird
wasn't
call on
This was an
the
insta
river.
call. I insta called this.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Insta call.
You just said here, you said I'm when I did that, I committed
Insta
myself,
call.
and committed
Yeah.
is committed.
Okay, that's cool. So you know you're committed. That's the
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah, so and that goes back to what I said earlier. Given how I think, who I think he is.
So what do you think he did?
He's
So here's my
playing.
question with this.
Mhm.
Ignoring what his hand is here, what
Mhm.
part of this hand do you think that he played that makes him fishy here? What?
I've played with him before.
Oh,
Played with him before.
oh,
I know this player.
oh,
Yes.
never mind.
I know this player. So I know this player and I see commonalities. I understand where you separate this kind of play from Knuckle, but I see commonalities in that play with certain boards.
Yes, ignore everything I said. You're right, I'm wrong. No, when if it, yeah. I'm going to erase that entire part of the conversation from the replay. You're right. Yeah, you know that this player has this in him. And that he was going to call that's great.
I know that he fits within the player class that strongly employs donk leads, and to me, it's a natural progression on that type of board from a donk lead to a check raise. It's just natural. He thinks I don't have anything. He has top pair. He's going to fight back. He's going to smack back hard. That's a lot of 9s. That's a lot of 8s. That's a lot of 7s. I thought he had a 9 from the second he did this.
Right.
From the
Right.
second he did it. Right.
Right.
So at that point, my entire goal is to get his stack in.
Great.
My entire goal is to get his stack in. And if I lose 30% of the time, I lose 30% of the time, but I'll take 70%.
Hell yeah.
Stacking.
All right, let's take a look at let's see if anybody else has put a hand in Zoom. Go to Zoom. All right. Boom, all the notes here. So, I'll do, so Larry, you have live hands, Larry?
I got hands.
All right.
I've got a hand that
Why don't
also involves a river donk.
Oh, great. Why don't let's do that one. Let me stop
Yeah.
sharing. Let's do yours.
All right, I'm gonna bring it up first. Make sure I'm not doing a spoiler here.
And then Daniel, while he's doing that, if you
Yep.
want to, next week, if you want to do, just open up your database, we'll just we'll start at a random spot and jam through like 100 hands. You want to do that?
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. Okay,
Alright, I'm about to share. Building
it was
anticipation.
Daniel, Mike. That's why I was answering it.
Oh,
We're
it's
on-
Daniel?
It was Daniel, yep.
Oh, okay. Does he have it ready or?
No, we'll do that, we'll do that next week.
Oh,
Give him time to prep it. And you can also, yeah, that's fine.
Time to play.
Alright,
before
guys,
we
can you
play.
see
Make
my
sure you got 100
hand?
hands.
yeah, just
Okay.
give us a random session that has at least 100 hands and
Yep.
it takes about an hour to go through about 100 hands.
All right, awesome.
Alright, this live hand, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Live hand couple nights ago. I'm playing essentially a starting stack here. 100 bigs. No start along, but we have a limper. I think this is a clear ISO.
ISO.
It's not the most comfortable this early, but we're not folding and we certainly not calling. So over limping. So we're gonna ISO, we ISO to 12.
Yeah.
We get a flatter. Here,
Out of position, hooray.
yeah. Here's my note, active, occasionally spewy. So this
Right.
guy he was drinking and no, he did. He had like he was playing half of hands, 60% of hands.
All right.
Lipper folds, we are heads up, we get this flop.
Ooh.
I don't have to c-bet this, but essentially then I'm giving up the hand. And I think I am gonna c-bet it. He checks. You can do, I mean, so I think we could strip him of his very best aces, right?
Yes.
Ace king, we can strip him of, definitely. It's mostly ace queen we can, maybe he's got more ace queen.
Have we seen him 3-bet?
No, we have not seen him 3-bet.
Then we can't strip those. If there are people who you just never see c-bet. I mean, never see 3-bet,
That's true, especially live.
because ace king is a drawing hand.
Yes, especially live. That's valid. I didn't know him. I got playing with him before. So I do default to Jeremiah Williams, who I mentioned 1,000 times. He likes to be 50 here.
Okay.
After Olympic ISO, I think it's fine. It's arguable. We could just like give up here. Oh, we it's not give
Yeah,
up.
Larry, if you don't see that here, you shouldn't just be giving up. You still have,
Equity.
yeah, well, not just equity. I mean, you're just ahead of a range.
Yeah. Oh, with
You
king high.
still
Yeah,
have
that's
a
valid.
range advantage. Yeah.
You have the nothing.
I have the nothing. True. Good. Well put. It's interesting what this range is. It's hard to know what this is.
All pretty hands.
Yeah, so it's middle pairs, suited stuff, probably suited connectors, maybe suited gappers, depending on how. Broadway stuff does have some ace X. So we go half
Mhm.
here. He calls. Turn is interesting because we now turn equity.
Yay.
We like that. What are you guys doing here?
What does he do?
Oh, sorry. He checks.
I'm continuing. I
Yeah,
picked
I'm
up
going.
equity. I'm continuing my
Absolutely going. I'm
bluff.
putting pressure on all his pairs.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on board here. I want to put pressure on eights. I want to put pressure on like 10-9. I want to put pressure on random sevens.
Mhm.
You're putting
I wanna
pressure
give
on
a-
ace 8.
Ace eight even, yeah. I want to put pressure on, there's his range, which is somewhat capped, but you're right. I mean, he probably doesn't have aces and kings and queens. So I pot it here.
Okay.
And now it gets in, he calls, sad face. So
Now I think when you pot it and get called, I think you've now funneled him to a lot of aces that aren't folding on the river.
yes, this is a heavily filtering turn size. So he is heavily filtered.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna hold on for dear life with a 9 here, maybe 9 diamond.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty much done with the hand. The most interesting question now becomes turn, which is the dunk. So we get a very interesting king. So we would always check this back.
Yeah. We would happily
Or
check.
would you always check it back? I don't know if you can argue we'd always check it back, right? You've picked up, obviously, technically showdown, but also you've capped their range that they're likely you're going to be losing. I'm not saying that you do shove the bluff here, right? Because it would be a bluff shove, but I don't think it automatically means you check back just because you've hit a king and in theory got showdown, because your showdown is probably still behind after them calling a pot size bet, right?
You true. So the one way to look at this is, I think you got a good point.
And
But
you have ace king here, right? They don't, is it? So you have now got two
Uh,
pairs. So you've countered their two pair aces in theory. Counterfeit, not like what's it called? Drawn theirs. So in theory, your shove is both a value and bluff, if you get me.
mergey,
Polarized.
yeah, it would be a mergey shove.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not saying it's the right
However-
call. I'm just saying it's not a guaranteed check back, right?
okay, I can see that. However, I would argue that this is a heavily filtering bet. So we take a pot size bet on turn. So we've done 3x of regression in a row.
Mhm.
Pre-flop we raised, flop we bet, turn we polarized on.
Mhm.
These three actions put most players and maybe the top 20%, top 10% of hands that they have. Some players gonna hold on with a 9x, probably 9x of diamonds all the time. But he doesn't, I would argue after he calls his turn, he doesn't have much that falls to a shove,
Right.
except for busted draws, which he certainly has. He certainly has some diamonds that busted. But I just don't think that he has. I just don't think he has. I don't think that continuing aggression
They
of
could have
these
an
75
ace
here.
suited, ace suited
gonna-
spades, right? They could have
Sorry?
here that they'd be folding. Ace suited spades that they could be folding. Yeah, right. It's technically got value, but they're losing to ace king, ace queen. So it could be ace 10 suited, ace jack suited, right?
Yeah,
Etc.
yeah, you're right,
Spades.
Richie. You're right. Maybe one way to look at it is this: we don't have to win all the time. What we have one decision point here is: do we win some of the time with our showdown? There's some math that goes into this, but
Yeah, that's the math thing. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure what's the right play, but I do think there is some people, some bluffs, some people you're folding off with better hands here, that right than you.
yeah,
Because you
mean,
have
I
the
don't.
aces, you have trip aces, you have ace king, you have the stronger two pair, right? So that there are some people. Obviously, you're not folding a set of nines, you're not folding a set of sevens, etc., etc. Check back, you're losing less against them. You are beating, as you said, some of the missed draws that would fold anyway.
Yeah.
But the question is the maths behind the ones you're not beating.
Yeah, I think I honestly think we win. We're probably not going to win half the time when we check back, but
No.
we're going to win enough that it's the more profitable play as opposed to trying to get him off whatever is a very filtered range here. But I see your point. I mean, I would argue it's pretty gangster to choose to turn this into a 3-street bluff.
If you didn't pair the king, would you bluff it?
Depends on what the river is, but the honest answer is probably no. After my filtering turn size, my turn size was very filtering.
Which is why reconsider your, now that you can go back and see the whole hand in clearly from the end. If you bet smaller on the turn, two wonderful things happen. You don't filter him as much, so he can get here with more, when you don't hit your king, he can get here with more hands that can fold to a bluff on the river.
Yes,
Like
that I think we're referring to the old school Brazil method.
Right. And
Isn't that what we used to call it?
yeah. Although the Brazil, the size would be really small. It would be tiny, boom.
Yeah.
Wait, how low of an equity like would you have to like make this a bluff? Because I feel like if you're because I feel like
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
a
like
good
around
question.
50%, like I would just check back. You know, if you're over 50% after a
Yeah, I
call,
mean,
then it's
50%
good to
equity
bet.
would be kind of the break even.
If you bet this, you're bluffing. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
expecting to get called by a
Like
nine.
you'd have to have over 50% after the call to like bet this. But if you were around 50, then you should just check. But like, how low of a what's your threshold? Like,
I think probably 20%. If I estimated, I mean, I don't think about estimated equity, but if I was to say my estimated equity right
just like
now,
yeah,
I would
like low,
guess,
like bottom end shit.
I would
or
say
bottom.
30%, maybe 40%. I mean, I think when we check back, we win maybe 30 to 40% of the time, but I think that's enough to check back in theory here.
I think you need to do that analysis you're asking about, Dan, you need two numbers. You need the number of your equity, but also you need the number of how often do you get a better hand to fold. When you're, so you're comparing,
Yeah, the full equity.
you're comparing checking back, because checking back is free, to betting, and betting here is the is value for the very few times that someone grits their teeth and hangs on with a 9 or pocket tens, jacks or queens, you know, like that, you know, the hands you beat where they grit their teeth and call it. So you get a little bit of that. Then you ignore all the times that they fold their hands that are worse. You got nothing from them. Those are zeros. Now you take all the hands that are better and you multiply the number of times, you know, the times that you get them to fold by the pot,
right,
minus the number of times they call, and you lose the whole thing and like this. So it's that last number, more than saying how low your equity needs to be, is how often does your bluff work?
I think the technical term for that is alpha, which is your acquired fold equity when bluffing.
Well, I'm not talking about the fold frequency you need, but I mean, it's just like the lower your equity is. I mean, you're not gonna know your equity for sure, right? But like in your range, you maybe have like an idea. But like the lower your equity is, the more, you know, the more hands you can get to fold.
Yes, the more hands you
like
need.
in terms of in terms of like a fold equity, like getting them to fold like a 9 here. You know, if you have a, but you wouldn't want them to fold a 9 here if you have a king. But if you did, if you didn't have a king.
If you had pocket sixes here with a 6 of diamonds and you decided to turn it into a bluff, then getting a 7 to fold, which is not that hard, is great.
So, yeah, so like to me, like pocket sixes or 5s would be like a really good bluff candidate, just because it's like you're gonna get a lot of more fold equity in terms of like you know, folding them out of their equity.
Yeah,
so I was just wondering what your threshold is. Like if you're just, because here I don't think I would think about bluffing here at all, or not at all, but you know, like most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you could do the math. The
yeah.
math is fun, but I think we win enough.
I mean, you
when
could
we
even get
check
value
back.
with them technically. I mean, but I'm just like,
But anyway, this is not the situation where we get a check.
No, he bets.
He now donks into us for approximately half pot, a little bit more than half. He puts in $90. So,
Call.
what are you doing here?
Call.
just feels like oh wait, are you asking anyone or just specifically?
I'm asking the group. I'm asking
Got 2 answers.
7 people here.
I would think this is you know, a block bet. I mean, I just feel like this it just feels like it's usually weak, you know, but unless like the river was like really a scary card, you know, if it was like a diamond.
Daniel, you got 2 words you get to say here: fold and
Mm.
call. Those are your only words, because I'm not gonna let you say raise, and I'm not gonna let you talk about his range. Those are your 2 words. Which one do you want to choose? Do.
I mean, I would I would call it here.
Good call. All right.
Let's not call.
All right. Who's folding?
So
Ready?
let's classify our hand.
I was gonna say I'd
Are
rather
we
raise,
beating
but you don't
value
have enough
or do
behind.
we beat bluffs?
All right.
Are we, is this pure bluff catcher or are we beating value?
Bluff catcher.
All right, we know we have a pure bluff catcher here, and we know that we need to win more than 25% of the time to be profitable. Where is bluffs coming from? Diamonds?
Diamonds.
Are the obvious one, which are unblocking.
Yay.
Stuff around some kind of very sticky 10-8, 8-6. Is this an under over bluffed line?
Seems over man.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is so we know that if we can classify this as an over bluff line, we can widen our calling range considerably. If it's under bluff line, we can tighten our calling range considerably.
This is the classic overbluffed size.
Thank you.
Mike is good point.
Yeah, that's
So I made a mistake here then, because I turtled it. And I folded to this, and my argument for folding was filtering range on turn. I took 3 super polarizing actions before we get to river.
You did.
ISO
No rope.
3.
You gave him no rope.
Bet I gave him no rope. ISO 3. Bet half on flop. Bet pot on turn. Boy, don't I look like I have an ace king. This one I actually look like I have. So we have to classify this as a pure bluff catcher. We know that.
Yes.
We know he has to be bluffing more than 25% of the time here for our call to be profitable.
Yes.
And
what hands would he value for that sizing?
it's hard I think diamonds are the obvious bluffs. A weird 10-8 suited, a weird 8-6 suited.
We don't block 10-8 spade.
What's his value hands that he
Balance.
he block bets here? I'm trying to think like 9x.
We don't like having spades because his backdoor continues we're blocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can get to a call here. I think maybe I think that the consensus is this is a hero call.
You could have soul read him, I don't know.
And
His size is not that small, by the way, because you only have 114. His
Yeah,
size is
but
small,
like
but
you're stuck.
yeah, it's a yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
but
but
it's not like he's choosing to bet half pot when he had the opportunity to bet pot. He's choosing to bet half pot when he had the opportunity to bet 3/5 of the pot.
that's valid. But I can get behind a call. You guys, I mean, so I think the consensus is that this is nitty. Is that a safe statement?
Yep.
Okay. And everybody would be
Well,
calling here.
Based on the description too, I think. Now that I'm looking at it, occasionally spewy active.
Yeah.
Um,
It does have a super fucking wide range. It probably does have 10-8 suited in it.
His name is Spewy. His middle name
yeah.
is occasionally, but his last name is Spewy. He goes by the name Active Spewy.
So now what I'm trying to do is in my head is I'm trying to integrate what you guys are telling me and understand how I can get to a call here. And I'm struggling. I'm struggling with that.
You're
I'm
the one who's usually advocating these calls when we get such really good pot odds. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
I feel like block bets are usually kind of it's supposed to be strong, like solver wise.
I'm not going to classify this as a block bet. I think a block bet is like B20, B30.
Yeah.
I'm going to I think this is a little bit more than a block bet. I'm going to
I guess it was 90, right? Yeah.
I'm going to call this a mergy donk.
Okay.
But okay, we're going to move on. I'm going to try to understand why I couldn't find a call here.
What was
other
the
being a fucking nit? So
you folded and you never got a showdown, or did he?
and he was not drunk enough to windmill anything in my face.
Okay, fine. So you just folded.
I have other hands, but I could pass it on to someone else.
I want to go back on this hand for a second.
Okay, sure.
Is now having seen the whole hand and all like that, what do we think about the smaller bet on the turn? What do you think about not potting it and leaving yourself?
You've probably seen this line from me before, which I use.
Yeah.
Probably too much, because what I'm not thinking about enough here, and this is a very excellent point, is I'm not thinking enough about SPR. I'm thinking about generating folds with, and also that I turned it. Two things are happening in my head. I've turned additional equity.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means that I really like this turn, and so I want to apply additional pressure with a pot size bet. However, you are right. What I need to think about here more is SPR. SPR and thinking about SPR is a little bit tougher for a newer live player like me.
So let's say you bet 30 into here. By the way, on the next hand that I show, I fuck the SPR up also. I'll be right on you, Daniel. I just want to go through this. You bet 30, the pot's 116. He calls. And now with that, you've got 144 behind, which is both enough to bluff. It's more than a pot size bet to maybe bluff off a bad ace. And it also does another thing. When he donks into you on the river here, if he does that,
It's smaller.
no, not necessarily. It's more information. If
I see.
so the pot is going to be
116.
116. So go forward.
We'll say 120. Okay, 120 pot.
120 pot, and you've got 140 behind. And now he decides on a 120 pot with 140 behind to bet whatever size he bets when he now has the opportunity to overbet the pot.
I see your point.
So now his block, now maybe his bet has more information.
Yeah, I see your point.
But maybe, maybe when he bets all in now, you go, all right.
Yeah,
Against my
I'm trying to-
strength, you did that, and he has, so maybe you put yourself in a better situation here.
Yeah, I see your point. It's my understanding of growing pot, SPR, and chip counts is progressing. It's not there yet. It needs to be
Alright.
better. All
Mine-
this obviously to everybody who plays online, including me, it's a lot easier online.
I know. So Daniel, you had a point you wanted to make?
Oh yeah, no, I was just wondering because it does seem like on the turn it's like a good card to, like the double flush. There's a double flush draw, straight draw, more straight draws. I could see why it, you could be like, okay, like you can go for a large bet, over bet, but it's just not the range. Just I don't think this is the range that really helps you. Like it helps your hand, but not your range as much. And then on the river, it shouldn't help his range, but then he donks. So it's actually kind of, I think about it, is it kind of,
Yeah, it's hard to know what his range
Kinda
is when he's flatting an ISO.
because
in
he really
small
shouldn't
blinds.
be hitting a king here after whatever happened to turn. But
I
yeah,
mean, I showed this
but the
hand to
turn thing-
Dean before, and we're like, well, what's his likely value here? His likely value is like a king nine,
yeah, he hits like a two
especially
pair.
a
Like that's
king nine diamond would be
yeah,
a
it's only
likely.
two only. Was it
That's only
two
like
king
one combo.
nines?
It's only, yeah, it's not that many combos, but well, I think he has some offsuit
Yeah, I'm
because he's
trying-
spewy. But
You're
I mean,
right
one
though, it
thing
does
you
help
do
your
have to-
hand, but I was just thinking more about that range. Like I feel like it
one
wouldn't.
thing you have to think about live is when you have like these 60%, 70% BPIP ranges, there's just some random two
Oh,
pairs that
true.
you're gonna run a brick wall
You're gonna be
into.
up against 9-7. And
Yeah, you just run into
Yeah,
like, there's like, if 60% VPIP range does have 16 combos of 9-7 here.
yeah.
And so you do have to think about random two pairs, which in your head shouldn't be there.
Okay. So
That
now let's,
includes all the hands that
Yeah,
that
that's
miss
straight
too.
live. Yeah.
You are totally right, Mike. You're totally right. And so
Have you seen
I-
his showdowns? Like,
uh
or has this happened before?
I
And
don't
like
think at this point in the night I had seen.
any of his showdowns?
you've
Okay,
seen
just
something because you
wondering.
called him spewy. I mean, you gotta,
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I was
maybe just
guilty of.
flag aggressive, maybe.
I think I'm aggressive at this point of not, or guilty at this point of not seeing enough of the showdowns.
okay. So let's
I
do
mean,
one thing on this hand before moving on, which is, so if you give him a big blind range and not a small blind range, you can absolutely, you can range bet this flop, no problem. Even if you're not range betting this flop, you can bet a backdoor flush with a backdoor straight and two overcards to the 9. So you can bet this on the flop if you want, in poker coaching terms. Against the small blind range, not so sure.
Yeah, it's hard to know what this is.
Right. So that's one decision point. And then the last decision point I want to bring up is against, in Hungry Horse world, on an ace high board, I'm overbetting or checking. So the
Yeah.
only candidates we can overbet are your good top pairs, not even ace 5, your good top pairs and your best draws. And this is neither. So in
Yeah.
Hungry Horse world, this is a check back. Then when you-
Agreed. And which I think is important. And also this is the kind of
Bye, Richie.
stacky, this is the kind of static texture that he likes well, he uses that strategy on. That's a very good point about what Hungry Horse is doing there.
So in Hungry Horse world, this goes check, check. On the turn, he either bets his ace or he doesn't, and you can easily call with your 4. And then on the river, when he bets again, you can easily call with a king in a nice small pot. Probably. Not that he's not allowed to, he can overbet the pot, but we know that by you playing pot control, the pot tends to be much smaller. And this decision on the river is very easy. And the
Yeah,
decision
that's valid.
on the river was kind of hard.
Maybe the irony is I'm the one that's spewing this hand.
Maybe. Again, but in poker coaching world against a big blind range, you can bet this hand.
Yeah, I
Against a
guess.
small blind range, you probably can't. You don't have such a you don't have such a range advantage over the small blind calling range. Do you?
Well, I think I don't think we can attach the ranges in our head to him when we've got a 60% VPIP.
Oh, right. Yeah. Then we give him the big blind range. I've
Then we give him a big blind range and
got the big blind range, and so you can get
I
this. So
mean,
it's okay.
and also he should be somewhat filtered because I chose to ISO pre. Okay,
We have a hand similar to this where he 3-bet range, 3-street bet range, but Richie's gone. Okay, when you get back, we'll do that hand again, unless you haven't left.
Do you want me to hand it over to someone else? Do you want me to show another hand? It's up to you.
Let's check. Does anybody else have a hand who hasn't shown one? Okay, let's do. You do another hand, and then I'll do a couple. And then
Okay.
anybody else wants to jump in, just jump in. And Mike, if you want to do anything off your database, prep the screen the way we need to first.
This is an interesting hand. So this guy had a 80% VPIP. We're playing short-handed.
Right.
He had just sucked out on me a couple hands before where he flopped bottom set. He dunked pot. He non-nuffle dunked pot on flop.
Mm-hmm.
I called with ace queen. She started on a short stack. He started like on $100. He got minimum buy-in. And then I get the tragic repeat ace. He then dunks pot again. I know I'm never folding. I shove, wanting to get value from his flush draws, which were available, and a straight dollar was available. And of course, he insta calls.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit tilted to this point.
Yep.
But so straddle's on. We're gonna open to 10. He calls. In Chippy V, I can call here. In a no rake pre-flop game, this is a squeeze. But in a Chippy V game, which this is, because we're playing time drake, I think this is a call.
I'm not very confident of that being a squeeze from the small blind. I think that's a fold from the small blind.
In a raked range.
In a raked game, these suited connectors are not great out of position like this. They're raises in the big blind, not in the small blind.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Which in this case, straddle.
So I have a question. How much experience do you have with the initial raiser?
And
the guy that called, actually. And
the guy that called, not much. I've never seen him before. He
You've
showed up.
seen-
He was bought in for minimum and just started playing every hand and then sucked out on me.
Yeah.
This guy is he is actually a semi-pro.
He's semi-pro.
Yeah. He's a
So if
semi-pro.
you-
He plays probably 6 days a week.
Okay, all
that's
right. So he's a
fold.
good player. So it's a fold. If you turned your cards over and didn't know what they were, do you think you could outplay the semi-pro?
It's a flush or a straight, I can.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You don't know what your cards are. You don't know what your cards are. Do you think that you could outplay him out of position?
No.
Then fold. Fold 7-6.
This is an implied odd hand which can make flushes and straights.
It's an implied eye hand played out of position.
Out of position, and
Out of position.
you're extending your
I
range.
see your
EV's
point.
much lower.
The
And
straddle
one-
pot too, the SPR is like down to, you're at half your SPR.
Okay, I can maybe
I-
fold this, but then I'm playing 23% of hands instead of 25% of hands, and everybody else is playing 40.
Great.
Not
I
really.
think-
not,
I don't
not
know
really.
if this is a fold.
I think that
It's
So are you
CPV.
taking
Do
into
three better?
account? You're taking into account the player, right? So you're saying that if I fold this, and automatically my range goes from 23, but not really, because if there's another player that does it that's bad, then I would say raise 5-4 of hearts if you think you can outplay him.
I don't,
You know what I'm saying?
I can
You could-
outplay, the, caller. I don't think I can outplay that.
So
Like,
if you
you could
can't
streak-
outplay him, then why would you commit chips on 6-7 of hearts out of position?
Because it's an implied odd hands at 100 bigs that can make flushes and straights.
Okay, so.
Are you
so
going to
almost-
stack him for,
This-
if he's that good of a player, are you going to stack him when you hit your straight?
Is he the only player in the hand?
No, and that's why.
No, he's not. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
why, so when you're multi-way, your ability to outplay people goes way the hell down, even if all the other players are bad. Because all the pros have to sort of play straight up because of the other people in the hand,
Right.
okay? And the more, these implied odds hands, which go up in value,
The
You know,
deeper
as
you
the
are
offer
and more multi-way
go
you are.
down, this goes down in value multi-way because of your flush over flush capabilities. That's not this, I'm not talking about the very rare, set over set when that happens.
Right.
Which is your ace-x of hearts is very valuable and your suited connector goes down multi-way.
Okay,
You're
And
right
you're
though.
playing-
Like it,
And you're
it is
playing
a
extra. You're paying 10x what you put in the pot here. What you put in
I am
dollar.
paying 10x.
Yeah,
I
you
am
don't need
paying
to do
10x
that.
what I've already invested.
Yeah, you don't need to do this.
So
You could
what's
do
our, so what's your
battle.
call? All right, so what is our call? Let's pull up. Let's pull up
Okay.
peak. What is our calling range then?
Okay, so peak is not gonna give it to us because this is 10, because of the,
True.
right, that's the thing, is this is not a 3x or 4x, this is a 10x to you. And so it's a 5x open compared to a standard. So let's take
I
a
would
look.
also
in GTO Wizard.
Under open and live, just because there's a lot more callers. If
Yeah.
like big blinds are, if people are over defending, you should play less hands. Like your 0 EV hands should just disappear because there's a lot of 0 EV opens. 6-7 is
Fine.
actually like a good. I actually like that hand. It's 3-bet from the button, but it is a 0 EV raise still.
Yeah, Mike, put up the 5x open chart. Cause that's what you're facing, because 10. And then let's look at how the small blind
So those
responds.
5x don't work here because it's frankly because it is, those are rake ranges. Those aren't chip EV ranges,
Okay,
right? So let's look just very quickly here and we'll go back to the hand. We'll just
Okay.
look at pre-flop. I think you have a point, but all of a sudden, Jesus, I'm already by far.
Cash,
by this guy.
cash. Cash, you're an MTT,
Oh, fuck those things.
like a fucking animal.
So 8 max is chippy
Oh,
V,
it's
right?
in there.
Yes.
8 max.
8 max is chippy
Yeah.
V. So raise, we're gonna have calls here. Small blind.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
definitely.
it's not, you're right, it's not there.
Yeah.
It's close,
It's close because 6-5 is.
Wait,
but it's not there.
yeah, I mean,
Now, taking a look at this range here, so your 6-5 makes the same excuse as your 7-6. It's the same hand, and the weird technicalities of why it's there, we're gonna ignore for a
Yeah.
second.
It's
Well,
like
I can
cooler
switch
and
them.
steel, I think.
But now, push this raise, this opening raise from 3 to 5. Adjust the hijack's calling range from 3 to 5. And now what do you think happens to that 6-5 and that 5-4?
It goes down in value.
Yeah, I
is it
think
gonna be more linear? I guess is that what you're saying?
It's hard to know, I mean, because we don't know what
Right.
chip EV 5x RFI ranges are supposed to be.
Right.
Technically,
But we
I just thought
the
it's just
conclusion
balance.
that given that we've lost a lot of
Right.
that we've lost the 6-7 and the 5-4 isn't full, because when you love this, the 5, 4, 6, 7, and 6, 5 are all the same. And the less you love them, it's like the ace 4 and the ace 5, right? In their bluffing thing. The
Yeah,
6,
this is
5
like assuming you play like the solver though, post flop, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But we're still getting some insights as to their expected, their equity, their expected value.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but you called, so let's play the hand out. Let's.
All right, so
let's-
just to summarize the conversation. I think A plus I think it's important to know the players you're playing with. This guy is incredibly an overfolder, which makes him profitable, frankly.
Mm.
But this guy is playing all the hands and he's gonna pay. He's gonna pay me off if I hit pay dirt.
Okay.
But I think I can see the full argument here, especially at a 5x, yes.
And one more thing, unlike those ranges all include only one player behind you who can squeeze. You have 2.
That's true.
You have 2.
If you were on the button, I would, I think all bets are off and, go for
Look
it.
at it.
Yeah.
Look at the same thing range under the button. Look at your button response. It's in position, but it's got 2 people behind. Let's see what the button does with hands like that.
Also, the other thing we're not talking about
Okay, yeah.
is that we aren't playing 100 big blinds deep. We're playing 40 big blinds deep.
Or
Wait, I was wondering about that. Like, is
Because the
this
straddle is to 5. It's not 4, it's to 5.
Oh, yeah,
So
40 big blinds
we're
keep,
playing-
fold. Oh my God, fold.
Yeah, you don't have the odds.
So I
Yeah.
think you're right.
You-
I think that this is a
you-
fold. I think once you take consideration that the straddle's on,
Yeah.
the fold.
There's, yeah,
But
What's
sometimes
the in
Yeah, you
position
just
right move?
technically play.
when we play
Certainly
Gimbo,
won't be calling this.
sometimes good things happen.
sometimes when we
everyone-
play bingo,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
hit bingo.
You
Yay,
hit,
bingo.
boom, and the aces out there, so that's
What
That's
are you
good.
guys doing here?
Check.
Yes, I am not going to
You ship it.
bump this.
shit. It.
I check. The good player checks. This guy bets 10 into, bets about a third.
Right.
What are you doing here?
Raise.
Yes, what size are you using?
35 to 40.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go 45.
Yay.
And he folds, yeah.
Good
Good.
players out. We're now playing with our target, Mark.
And this guy, I guess he calls it one. All right.
Yeah, he calls.
Yay.
We're loving life. We
Yeah,
love this
hard on
game.
the turn.
Until we get the 4 of hearts.
Hard on the
Not just the
turn.
heart. I want to say, I didn't just
Jesus.
know that a heart was coming. I said 4 of hearts before it even appeared,
He
people.
did. He did.
I did. I'm very good at this game.
We aren't dropping
It's
that.
like
We aren't.
almost the worst heart you
Uh,
could get on the
That's
turn.
not hard.
It is. It unblocks all his Broadway.
All his
Yeah.
He could
kings.
stop that.
All, it unblocked
High
all his jack.
He could
um,
solve a royal
king of
flush draw.
hearts,
Jack.
jack of hearts, 10 of hearts.
Check,
Still out there. What are you doing here?
check,
Oh,
check.
Pot control.
Check.
Yay. Pair the board.
no.
Pair them.
Oh,
Jack.
no.
Oh my gosh. Is this you? Or are you playing this hand?
No,
No.
I just know what hands Larry brings us.
It's like poker. Do you work for Poker Stars?
What are you doing
I
here?
work for Ultimate Bet.
That's my shadow position.
This pot ripper.
Is this a give up? What are you doing? Checking?
Check is not a
Yeah.
give up. Check is an
Yeah.
active thing. You actively check.
Check call.
Make an
Yeah,
active
you can-
check.
All
Block
right.
me.
So IB50, is this a spew?
Ugh.
No.
I don't think it's.
You're gonna fold to a raise, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
that's-
I'm curious if this is a pure check or do we have bets here to you guys?
I would block just in case he has just to get some value from non-high flush.
I
'Cause
think
they
block is a
would've
better
bet on
size
turn.
here.
Block and
I-
get an 8 of hearts to call
Yeah.
and get an 8 of hearts to call you for less than maybe at bet.
30, 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd use a B50.
That's kind of big.
This one you're
He
almost
sho-
pot
He
committed if you jam.
shoves and
Yeah. That's I was like this.
and
just-
we wonder why the fuck we played this game.
you were how much were you getting on that 90?
Well, I mean,
But yeah,
maybe-
it's like that's rough.
No,
maybe
you don't.
deserve that. You deserve that.
Perhaps so.
You
Yeah.
deserve that turn and river.
So
That 76, that 7-6 out of you deserve that.
okay.
Here's what I
You-
think, by
perhaps
the way,
you're right.
river bet.
Yeah.
If you're even considering calling his bet, then don't bet the river and make him as wide as you can.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I already knew that I was gonna fold to a shove when I bet
Yeah,
this.
if you know you're folding to a shove, then bet
Yeah.
that. And I think I like your size because I think the even smaller size induces, and I don't think this size induces.
What do you have? King, queen off with a king off.
Yeah, he mucked.
He mucked.
Did
So,
he show
he
one
had
card?
hardship.
no, he didn't.
And shout.
He had sucked out of me, but he wasn't an asshole.
He had 110 of our chips. That's what he had.
Yeah, all right. So that is it. Someone else can now show their nightmare.
Right. So I really like your raise on the flop, not because you're afraid of getting sucked out on, but because very often when that heart comes, which it did, it shuts down your ability to get money from the hands that you have beat.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get beat by it, but it's more the first thing.
And we also have to think about what is his calling range when I take an aggressive action on flop. I take that.
Mike wants
big
to
fo-
Mike wants to see the next your next 5 hands.
Well, I took off the next 5 hands, actually. I walked away from the table and said,
All right.
clock me out. I'm gonna take a break.
All right. Here we go. Okay. So my next king of the night. So I'm in the straddle. We get a raise to 30 from early position, call and a re-raise to 200. We are going to cold for this. And we're going to cold for it to what size? Anybody?
So your SPR now against is 4, right? Essentially, a little less than 4, a little more than 4.
It'll be 400. Well, if I just call, there'll be over 400 in the pot. And so it'll be 3. It'll be an SPR of 3.
We're never calling. I think, and also we really don't want to encourage any gambly action behind.
No, we want to 4-bet this.
Shoving is fine, but I think this hand is so good we don't need to do that. I think I did call to the. So if we call 2.5, so we say 450, he calls, that's 900, and you've got about. So he calls at 450. He's got an SPR 1. I kind of like a 450 because SPR then is 1 is what I see.
Yeah.
We like SPR of 1, I think, here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of how many 4-bets happen on this table and like how many times you would get called if you just called here, or like how many callers behind you would have if someone if you.
I think calling here is egregious
Oh, are you
because
straddle?
you're allowing in other players and you really don't
Wait.
want to play multi-way with this hand.
Oh, wait, are you straddle? If you're straddle,
Daniel, this
then-
game is a straddle game. So this is a 3 blind.
oh,
I'm not
okay.
voluntarily straddling here. This is,
Yeah, so I
game.
guess raising is great.
and by the way,
If
this
you're
is,
under the gun, though, it's so strong.
this is the very next hand from this one. So I've just shown down being a wuss with kings. And on the next hand, I got kings again.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh yeah. This is
These are the same people.
So
great.
let's talk about where you
Great.
decided on that size. Which I don't think is bad, but I want to know why you chose this.
Because I thought that he would be strong, that he would be so strong that he wouldn't fold to it, and it would make the rest of the hand trivially easy.
Okay.
Trivially easy.
In retrospect, what are you happy with this size?
I don't think so. I think that's why I brought it here.
Yeah.
But it's also why when I thought that he was committed to taking a flop in position, that no, he can fold here. That later, that's why I did some smaller ones that fucked me up a different way. Saying so, but yeah, I think so. Let's look at this. Straight up theory, 2.7.
Yeah.
Right, 2.7 out of position for a 4-bet. So that's going to be 540. 540 commits me.
Is it 2 point? I default 2.5 here, but is 2.7
let's say
because we have
2.5.
two other flatters behind you?
I thought it was 2.7. Let's say 2.
Yeah, same difference.
Let's say 2.3 in position,
Yeah.
2.5 out of position. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, in live poker, these
Yeah.
minor differences don't really matter. I don't think that much. Yeah, so
Okay.
2.7 is good.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can say we want to make it bigger because we've got two flatters, but then we also have SPR issues, right? Because we're getting all of a sudden. The way I would think about this, and this is me spitballing, and I'm curious what other people say.
Mhm.
But I don't think we want an SPR of less than 1. I think around getting an SPR of 1 here is good.
I think I mean
I don't
out of
know.
position.
I don't have like hard data to back that up, but it seems like appropriate.
Wait, what's your reasoning? Like you would rather have a lower, or you don't want a lower SPR.
Okay.
I think when we get lower than an SPR 1 pre, it's just like
The money goes in and you're done.
your money goes in and you're done. Yeah. I mean, which is I played that, but you get to play a little bit of poker SPR 1. Like you get to small bet on a, you get to look at texture, small bet, big bet, depending on texture. And
you mean
you
not
can
with this
extract
hand,
more money from
like-
him post.
So if I go 500 here, if I'm saying I'm going 500, that is a small enough amount that I am not technically pot committed.
Are you ever gonna fold kings?
No, but I don't want him to know that. If
Yeah.
I go
See.
to 650, I have told him, don't try to bluff me off with your ace 5 suited. I'm calling.
Also, you have a good point about metagame in that you just shown down kings after a check back. So that's important.
So looking back on it, 450, I like.
It's like 2.2,
It
right?
really
4 bet.
prices them badly. Yeah, I think I like 450 and 500 better than 650 here.
Yeah, I think around 450, 500. And then you're just, I mean, we don't like ever playing out of position, but the SPRs 1 doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
This
Unless
price
you're a
just, this just,
conversation.
so you want, so let's talk, like, you want him to make a crying call with ace queen suited, for instance.
And queen. I want queen.
And definitely queen, queen.
I don't want to get any folds from I don't want to get any folds from pocket pairs except for aces. I don't mind getting a pocket pair like kings to fold. It's not happening. I'm
Yeah.
just, so the answer is I don't want any pocket pairs to fold. I don't want any folds. I don't want them to fold here.
And also another question, just getting back to first
But I don't
principle
want
here, is my thinking about wanting to understand what our SPR is on flop appropriate? I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's our main driver for our sizing here.
I think it's really good.
When we are, all of a sudden, we're going to be playing a big, yeah, I think that SPR is our main driver.
Yeah.
Wait, so we're because
I
in my head
want-
we're trying to get a lower SPR, but is it
We want an
not-
SPR that allows us to play poker.
Okay, and also not make him think like, make him not be scared to see the flop, I guess.
And we want him in the hand. We got
Yeah.
the second bet. We want him in the hand. We want to make a price that keeps him in and leaves us with an SPR, which allows us to extract more value. Because of our superior
Yeah.
post flop play, even out of position.
Yeah, at least flop bet, at least a flop bet for him. So it's like
We also want the SPR to be low because we're out of position, even with this hand.
Yeah.
Like,
That is true.
we don't want
that
any
is true.
positional advantage. Him to get any equity realization. So
Yeah.
now here's my last question about this before we move on to the next hand. In live poker, do you think a jam is perceived as weaker than a 650 here or a 500?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends a lot on what your image
Pre-flop?
is.
I don't think it is.
Just
Okay.
something.
All right. So
You think, so you don't think a jam is weaker than a
I
six?
don't think so. I don't think it's perceived as that. All right.
I mean, it really, to me, it really depends. Like, pre-flop, I feel like, I mean, I don't know. There's some ranges where you jam with a weaker.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be more bluffy, technically.
Yeah.
If you're
So,
jamming
Scotty,
with
one,
if you have ace king suited there, what do you do?
On this hand,
ace.
Uh-huh.
I happily raise to all in and get and enjoy the fold.
You would shove an ace king here, right?
I like when people fold when I have ace king.
Yeah.
So you'd shove
should.
here. You shove your 100,
Yeah.
you'd shove your 150 bigs.
This is a hole in my game, which is I would rather take the pot down with ace king pre-flop than dominate somebody on the flop.
Yeah,
mean,
me too.
The solver, I mean, that's what ace king off is usually like raised.
We know Solver's
more,
doing it a lot too.
more than
What,
aces, like, more than suited. or
How much
anything,
did this
so.
guy know you? Had you played hours and hours and hours with cutoff?
I don't remember.
Okay. I think then, to answer your question from before, then you definitely want to mix in some kings and aces into your shove range.
Ace king is a value bluff. You know what I mean, it's
Yeah, it is a value bluff.
you know, in that way. Okay.
The ace
Limp,
is
limp,
doing
limp, limp, limp. What would you like to do with Daniel? What size would you like to raise your queens, or would you like to call and hide their power, or would you like to fold because you're up
I
against
think
so many
I think
other
fold
players?
pre, like I would raise this to, is this 510? So I don't know, like let's do, I don't know how much you're calling here to any sizing, but I would do like 70.
70. Okay, let's see what I'm gonna do. 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. I'm gonna go to probably 80 here, but yeah, 70 or 80. 75. I go for exactly 75. Okay, I like your 70.
So one comment here.
You got 3 callers.
Is this the result you wanted?
No.
No.
Okay. Second comment. Do you think a larger ISO would generate more folds?
Yes.
You would have to start raising it more.
Yeah, I think
if
so.
this is
I
happening.
think 100. I think 100 might do it, but
Yeah, I think we just size up
Yeah.
live because people just want to pay to see the fucking flop.
You
You just
just,
size up.
kind of keep sizing up until they stop calling like 3
Keep
or
size,
4
you
ways.
keep on sizing up until you are heads up.
But
you do
more
have
often
to
than
play
not.
tighter though.
I disagree with that. You size up till you try to do that, but here's why you fail. Once this guy calls, no matter what your size is, if the first guy calls, it's hard to not get a cascade of calls behind it with suited stuff.
That's
Yeah,
valid. That's valid.
You
That's why I feel like you should play tighter if you are gonna raise. You still, I think you kind of have to play tighter if you're raising up your raise sizes. But yeah, that is annoying. That if
I'd
once you
like
get
to
one
have.
caller,
I like having 3 players right now. I'm very
Yes.
okay, yeah, this is
The world has changed.
right.
jam call.
So what's our SPR here? So we can
5.
assume that we are around this pot size across the
4
board.
and a half ish. Yeah.
Okay, so 4.5.
Yeah. 4 and a half.
So multi-way, Jesus. I mean, the default would be a hundo, like 100, like a third.
Now, what about
Yeah.
the Jonathan
This is-
Jaffe checking massively out of position?
You could-
Yeah, that's a really good point. This is a really good check raise point spot.
Yeah, that's true.
I would like a check. Maybe we can pull in I think check raise is lovely here.
This is
Great. Be great if it worked.
I feel like this is I guess that's an okay size. It's such a scary board that I'm just like, but
Yeah.
I guess that they're also thinking that. So
So with with this guy being the caller, it makes me a little bit wish that I had check raised because he's the perfect guy to bet to trap for the check raise.
Yeah.
The guy you want to sort of check raise the least is player 9 because that knocks these guys out of the pot.
I see your point.
But
Yeah.
anyway, this is what happened. Okay. Now, here, Larry, this is me making the mistake that we discussed, that you and I discussed. It goes in the opposite direction for me.
This is SPR.
Yeah, it's this size, which is what's the right size now?
So our SPR is essentially at 2.5. We'll say 2.5.
Yeah.
Ballpark. So I mean, if we're at an SPR of, we want to get it all in. There's no
Yeah.
question. So if we're at 2 and we got
Perfect
2
sizing.
streets, we're gonna bet around 60% pot. I would go about 70% pot here.
Okay.
shit's
Let's see. Now, if we go 400,
Yeah,
If
yeah.
we go 400, we also
thinking 300.
load the money while he has draws. And if
Yeah, and I think you like to
Yeah,
front load, and I
that's
think front loading is also fine on this texture, which is quite wet.
I think
So I
250
do
would
like
be-
the front load too, because we are getting money in.
yeah, I like,
against draws.
I like 400 here.
So are you sizing up because it's a wet board, right?
I'm sizing up because
getting ready
of
for jam.
3 different things. One, DTO wizard. 2, when that I think his king is calling the bigger bet. I don't think the king is folding yet. And
And
I
a
think
lot of scary rivers could come, which would shut him down with his king.
shut him down with his king, so I want to front load the money with a 400. I want to get called by a king. I don't want to jam. And if I give a worse price to a straight draw or a flush draw and they fold, I don't mind. And if they call, I'd rather front load their fee.
I can get down with that. I think you got really good points there.
Right, which is why I bet,
It's-
which is why I did this, which is just so wrong.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
the
because
second I
at this
did
point
it,
you're just
and you'll see that note right there, too small. And it's because of not thinking through the pot, the actual size of the pot the way I should have. It's sort of going, 200 is a big bet in this game.
I hear you. You're thinking of absolute sizing.
they have the
sizing.
pot odds for
And I'm also,
that.
and also look at what it does, on the river. The pot is
200,
895.
Oh
And,
God.
and I've got over pot. And so I went a third of pot, leaving myself with over pot now.
Yeah, I see your point.
It was just bad. I should have gone 400.
What about
I
that
think they
fucking
had the
river?
implied odds for the first straight draw or flush draw for that sizing too.
Yeah, I gave his draws a great price, a great
Yeah.
price.
Because you could easily get 5x that
Yeah,
bet.
and yeah, that was really bad of me.
All right.
The worst cards in the deck. What would you like to do with this
That's
card?
I would
that
like
is
to
a crazy
check
river
and
card.
I would check and see what he does.
All right.
I would block.
And he bets what is
Yeah.
that? He bet about pot?
Now 75%.
Okay, so it's 75%. We are going to call and cry.
Right. We're gonna call and lose to ace 3 of clubs. Right.
Yeah.
So the big question, the big mistake here is the
block or
turn.
Ricci?
I knew that it
Okay.
was too small when I made it. I do not hate my call here. I beat value, not just bluffs. I beat 2 pairs here.
Yeah, you can't fold. You beat value.
I beat some value.
What a fucking river.
Yeah.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
Is it because like it's harder to count like because here we can just see the numbers, but
Yes.
in live,
Yes.
did
It
you just
is-
like yeah, it's just harder. Yeah.
It's a lot easier
Like,
for Scotty
you
because he's
intend
got years
to-
of experience, but I am still very rough
Mhm.
at it.
Yeah, here's the thing. At this moment,
It's tough to ask them for a count though. That's the thing.
you don't need to,
like
you don't ask him for a count, Daniel. Go through the
yeah.
hand. That's the way you do it.
Oh, just yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Sit
remember
there.
the-
It's much easier. Looking at the pot
that's
card. You go through, because remember, you're allowed to take whatever time you want. You go like
I do
this.
try to look at their stack before
Yeah.
like during pre-flop
Yes.
and yeah, I just remember.
Yeah, it's 25%.
A really, really good habit to get in that I have not yet gotten into, but a really good habit is before you do anything in the hand, you look, or before the flop comes, you look and you either ask for count of your opponents, how much you playing. Yeah. And you get that answer so you can write down in your notes what the effective stack was. And to just
What was the turn bet again?
Okay, the turn bet is where my mistake is. I don't mind this small bet.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's
200, I think.
20%,
You know,
25%.
I'm really encouraging a raise with this size.
Mhm.
It's completely, Prometheus approved.
Yeah, he called.
Yeah.
I think it's multi-way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we can't run this hand in Prometheus because we don't have limp ranges,
Right.
but
Right.
it's
Over
this
bet,
moment,
right?
it's this moment that I should have very easily been able to say, 4 people in for 75, that's 350. 2
Mhm.
people in for 2 people in for 75 more, that's 500.
Mhm. So this.
Four
this
people in for
should-
75, that's, sorry, 4 people in for 75, that's 300. 2 people in for this, that's 450. I should have been able to just go, pot's about 450 here.
Mhm.
And that should have been trivially easy for me. And at 450, I should have said, all right, so I want to bet, I don't know, 400, 450, something in that range. And I bet this.
Oh, that's horrible.
I think he still would have called, right? Like even if he
Yes.
sized up.
Well, he still
with
would
his-
call. Yeah.
Yeah, his hand was
Probably.
yeah, but you're
He's
right,
not getting odds to call. He does have, it depends on how much is back
Well-
after the 400 and his implied odds.
He has ace five, right? Ace five.
Ace 3, he has ace 3.
Oh, ace three
So
suited.
he's
Never mind.
got,
He's got like
so
12 outs or something.
well,
So what-
What he has is 8 outs.
he's
Well,
got,
in his head.
he's
you know.
got 18%,
He's got 7 outs.
but yeah, he's got 7 outs.
Because the
Like
king
in his
club-
head, he's probably thinking maybe the ace could help now, but like he's probably thinks he had ace, king, or king. Queen.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
ace
this
king.
this is a classic overbet, right? On that 5, it's a you have the nuts. Draw heavy, there's a brick on the turn, so that's an overbet, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I
or at
think
least
he-
the pot
yeah.
size. Yes,
He's over there.
That's easy. Yeah.
that's easy. Why didn't I do it?
I don't.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Because I wanted to bring the hand to you guys so you'd feel
Thank you.
better about your play. I knew Larry, because I knew Larry
You
was.
think,
gonna
you think
take
it's
that
solver
take-
jam? I think that they could even jam here on the turn, to be honest.
No, jamming on the turn's not bad.
No, it's a brick on the
Just
turn.
because
You
of the-
got the nuts or a draw, you overbet.
And it's just like it's enough, yeah. But it's
Just overbet.
Yeah, it's just
it's
over.
it's just that's a rough river. I mean, I like out of all the rivers though.
Yeah.
Like the only worst, like this, yeah, maybe 10 is worse. I don't know, 10 tulips, but I think this is worse.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I show a hand real quick to see, everybody sees how a nit plays this hand?
Yeah, let's do the net version.
And I'll hand it over to someone else. I just have to find it real quick.
Okay, you find it. Okay, while you find it, I'll do the next one.
Okay, that's fine.
Unless you find it faster than that.
Let me see, I need
Am I
22
still sharing?
seconds.
Or did I stop sharing? I have stopped sharing. Okay, there we go. All right, here's the next one. King Jack suited. Easy open to normal size. We get 3-bet. We are in position. King Jack suited. This seems like a call. This seems bad. He bets small enough that I think I have to lose a little bit more money with what's behind. He does this. He bets there. The 300, half
Into
pot,
300 into what?
300 into 755, 300 and 455. So he bets big.
Oh, okay, that's a fold.
I think I have to fold even with my overcard. I think this is a fold here. Yeah, I fold. Okay.
All right, you want me to show nit, how a nit plays a set?
Yeah.
All right,
Let's-
this is how
nit's-
nit plays a set.
Okay, knit set.
Nit set. All right, so, whoops, so let me just reload this. Okay. So we're playing very short, four-handed, weeknight. This guy's a good player. But he limps. So he limps. I go to 10 here. I'm not, none of this limping bullshit. I don't think it'll fly. Yeah, good card. What a lovely flop. All right, but in theory, this is a really bad spot for me, which allows me to do this
Yes.
and have him bet
Boom.
half pot. What are you guys doing now?
I like a raise. There are
Yes.
lots of hands he can call with.
So
Nuggets.
I'm gonna raise
Huddle.
it to
Holy
40,
Yep. He called.
102.
Yeah.
You got a call. Now we got a 1.5 SPR and we have an entirely innocuous turn. What do you guys do?
Adrian overbets.
No, not with the 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out there. No.
Oh, okay. You only, it's got to be not just draw. It has to have not locked up equity. Draw
Yeah,
has non-locked up equity.
3/4 pot. It'd be what
Okay.
I would do. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, if I had to bet 330, 75, 75,
Well, then you're
and
on. Then you got
50,
150.
we've
yeah.
got 75 behind.
Not bad.
We are pot committed. We're never folding, no matter what happens. But this is what a nit does.
150.
A nit shoves all in on turn
And
on
shuts
this
them down?
wet board.
Did you shut him down? Or did you?
And then he says out loud, fuck, pot? I can't call that. Which means,
And then you
He
say, yes,
had-
you can.
which means he had a draw
Yes.
and he fucking folds.
So if
Right.
you're gonna.
This is the way nit plays are set on
I mean,
a draw heavy
uh,
board.
Okay.
So
Uh,
is there any point where you would fold this set of sixes at all for any river?
A 7 of clubs, the 3 of
Seven
clubs.
clubs,
Yeah. 7 of clubs, 3 of clubs. I check facing a shove. I might. Depends on how much I had left behind. I mean, I think so. 102. I think 75 is a better size here, but we're not. If I bet 75, we're not ever folding to any river,
Right.
and that's fine. So 75 is giving him 30% pot odds, and so for that, yeah, we're giving him exactly 30% at 75. For that, I like it because gamblers are going to call. 75 would have been a better size here. The shove was excessive, but a
Yeah.
B75 would have been good. Left 75 by hand. Whatever happens on river happens, but we're never folding regardless of the hand, regardless of the card. All right.
But to play devil's advocate, and I don't know why the devil needs an advocate, he should have plenty of lawyers in hell. If what
You
he
ever-
folded was pocket 8s or pocket 9s, we don't believe he did, then this is a nightmare. If what he folded was a draw, let's say 10-7 of clubs, like a horrible combo draw, you don't mind.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, he folded a
agree
a
with
draw because this is filtering his.
Yeah,
his
if
range.
he folded it, if he folded a gut
Cause-
shot, if
'cause
you,
you're not getting.
but if he folded an up and down straight draw, just a 7. You don't want him to fold that, but you absolutely want him to fold a combo draw here.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not. He is actually no. He's not getting that. He's got 30% on a combo draw, right? He's got 30% equity.
Yeah, if it's
To the
open,
nuts
very
here,
straight- a
and
straight-
so
a
I'm
straight
not
flush
giving
draw.
him the odds actually to call it 30% equity.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is people hated this play. I showed it too. I
It-
think this
it's-
play is
I
You
like
do have
7.
two O's.
I like
I-
7 better.
I think 75 is a better price here.
Yeah.
All right, that's a quick one. I'll pass it
But I
back.
don't hate your outcome.
Do you ever check there if they're like aggressive and bluffy?
No, not after I check raise turn. I check raise flop, so I'm not gonna trap check turn.
Let's look here very
So-
quickly. Okay, let me share the screen. All right. Let's look very quickly just on this one if the king jack should even have called the 3-bet. So we can't get it with we don't have we're gonna have to put him in the big blind, in the small blind rather than where with the straddle there, it's a little weird, so. But let's just see what the world says. Okay. So we were cut off, weren't we? Is that who we were? What are we? We're hijack. So hijack raises, small blind re-raises, hijack, king jack suited. No folds, no folds. All right, that's that hand. And we all say I don't have it with 7 outs. I can't go further than that. Okay. There are 3 folds to my left. Yay, let's win. So I've got 3 people I'm looking at. One of the fold tells has left the table with my chips from the queen, queen, queen hand. That guy. Goodbye, chips. And then this is the last hand that I recorded that day. Ace 10. Early position after a limp. Early eyes. You could limp this after the limp. This early, I think, really invites ISOs that you don't want. So I think I'm just going to ISO it myself. So I do. Then things get interesting. Just fold?
I think so.
You think just fold? Okay. So this is bad.
I mean, it's probably not terrible, but you still have this other guy to act and you don't know, I suppose.
Yeah. The other guy You certainly don't mind being out of position to two players with this hand. Because the property you're playing this hand for is its nut value, not for hitting an ace. So you don't hate letting him get in there. And you don't think that he's going to re-ISO you now, because this range has some aces in it. You've got an ace. So the idea that this guy played second hand low with ace, ace, or ace, king goes way down. So I don't think you're going to get three bet. I don't think you're going to get back raised here a lot.
No, I don't think so either. It's just going to be so hard to realize equity out of position to multi-way like this.
Yeah. And then I call, he folds. Oh, right. The only question, I don't even have a flop here. The only question is, do you just fold this? That's the only question here. With this
I'm in
word.
camp. I'm in camp. Fold it.
You're in camp fold. Okay. Let's see. In the best of all worlds where you don't even have a rake.
I mean, do we call ace jack there?
No, I don't think so.
Raise.
Ace jack.
Maybe
suited.
maybe ace 10 and ace jack maybe get in here.
Ace check suited. I mean, offsuit. I mean, this is a clear fold
think-
offsuit.
And that's versus players that are
Offsuit trivial.
bluff raising, bluff three betting you, but so versus players that don't include bluffs, it's probably just fold. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, fold.
This is
I
fold.
am I'm a spewer.
That was the reason this hand is here. And the fact that there's a limp first pushes my range a little higher,
I'm surprised.
makes his button, which makes him a little stronger, which makes this even more of a fold.
And also the other thing to think about is this is chip EV too. We're not even thinking about rate. This is a rake range
Is-
you're playing.
The rake environment.
Oh,
But now,
oh,
but
no,
by now the rake
ace.
is but by now the rake is a trivial part of the.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
the
That just
pot.
increases the calls, I think, right? If there's no annies.
Yeah, with antes you can call more, but at this point you've kind of dwarfed the ante and the rake.
I am a little loose here. I'm glad we're looking at this range.
This is what I
I am
I mean,
more
live-
than 2 pips loose here.
If it's live, it's like
just fold.
Just full, yeah.
Just
Look,
fold.
look at what button is three betting here. Guarantee that the
don't
player
think
at that
doing-
table is not raising
He's not doing the kings.
and those lower
Yeah.
aces and the lower pairs. It's all going to be ace, kings, queen, ace, queen suited, and maybe you get in that some of those
ace
other
is 5.
suited broadways. Yeah, ace 10 is just terrible against that.
Yeah, I agree. This is not there.
No way.
This is not there. This could be there. People know about this. This is not there. Well, no, this is not there. This is not there. Not in this configuration. Yeah. Exactly. Fold. Okay. Who else? That was my day. Who else has hands before we go to my next day? Larry?
So Mike is the go-to.
Mike, you ready?
No, I haven't gotten anything.
Prep a couple of hands.
I can.
I have more hands. I'm happy to show more hands, but I feel like I've been taking up a lot of time, but I can show some
Don't
more
worry
hands.
about it. Anybody other than Larry and Mike have a hand? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Take it, Larry.
I showed sixes. Let me get a good hand.
Right.
I showed this hand. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. I showed this. I got one more hand for today. Just make sure I haven't shown this to you guys before. Oh, this hand is incredibly frustrating. I don't think I've showed it to you. But I might have, and if so, I apologize. I apologize in advance. All right. Have you seen this hand?
I've seen aces before.
Yes. We ISO an early limper. We get a fold, we get a call from a station, and we get this monotone flop. Have I shown this?
No, well, you may have, but I don't remember it.
Okay, monotone flop. This sucks.
This sucks.
This guy is like 80% of VPIP, and he does not have a fold button.
Gotcha.
What are you guys doing here?
Betting small.
Exactly. Yeah, I bet small. Precisely. Calls. Lovely.
That's awesome.
What are you guys doing here?
Losing the hand.
Good bet small again.
That is correct. Okay, so why are we betting small here?
Efficient bluff.
Oh, so we're turning our hand, this guy's a station,
Oh, is it station?
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Then no.
So
But just
we
check.
now, we check, he checks.
Unless he's like, well, it could be net, right?
Oh, I hate poker.
Because I don't think a calling station would call here if they didn't have a. But I guess maybe. I
Now,
don't know.
now, the only question here, and I've given up the ghost. The only question here is if we ever turn our aces into a bluff.
They're not aces you're turning into a bluff. They're not aces anymore.
For
I mean, we
46.
check call
If,
here.
okay,
You
if
ever
we,
try to bluff, your question is, and it's a
yeah,
good question,
you have a
if
very
ever
good
want to
point.
bluff
I
them
see.
off a chop, your hand is 100% irrelevant right now.
That is a very good point. Our hand has, but yeah, I disagree with you in this sense, Scotty.
But
Because it
no,
blocks
that's
him from having it.
We win against, we win 80% of the time, 90% of the time against a hand that has no clubs.
No, you don't.
Oh, we chop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You win nothing. Your hand
Yeah.
is not here anymore. You're trying to bluff him off a chop. That's all
Yeah,
you're.
that was a really stupid thing to say.
you,
I love
you
saying
think-
dumb shit sometimes.
you think if I bet the turn bet a small bet would give me more information on whether I should overbet this river? Because that's like what I'm thinking. But I don't know. It's only 46.
Yeah, so do we ever turn do we ever get him off a
It's
chop?
The calling station, though? No way.
Agreed. And he wins with a single club.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
Okay.
And that is the end of my hands for today.
Yeah, I don't know that you're getting him off that.
I mean, that
chop.
was minimal loss.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is not a AI avatar.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You ready, Mike?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll do something then. Yell when you're ready. Okay, here's my next day. This is my first mistake of the day. There will be many more. All right, let's do this. We have nines. We open nines. We get 3-bet from very early position. He only has 670 left.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting the, and he 3-bet to 5x.
Right, we should just fold.
We just don't have the implied odds.
We should just fold.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's the
Implied
first
odds here.
mistake. Call. Now, with that flop, I don't think we can fold to this on this flop.
I agree.
Yeah. So
But our SPR is gonna get really stupid.
I know, yeah. So do we, with this in mind, do we check raise to try to get his overcards to fold now, given that he's going to get us to fold on every overcard after this? No, we just do that. That's-
That's nice.
That's nice.
Mhm.
He's got 420. The only thing we don't want to have happen here is we don't want to go check, check, and then an overcard default.
And an ace set, so.
So. But we don't just bet out, but we're going to call this bet. He goes all in, we're going to call, right?
Yeah.
Now we're
Yeah.
calling. Why are we not calling?
Oh,
Why are we not calling? Oh, I know why. Here's why.
You misclicked.
No, it wasn't a misclick. It was a mental error. It was the same mental error that I talked about with Larry. It's a pot size error. Here's the notes. Jam, fold. Wrong! Because he was only 375 to 420 more, and I didn't notice the size before saying fold. I said the word fold before I even saw the size bet. I just saw all, and I go, at this point, I had, I went, okay, calling this one, it's not that I'm putting him on a 10 here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, do you think he has a 10 here betting this?
No.
It's just
It was the continue, if this was a decent size bet, all in, like, the all in here, he's gonna do that with all of his overpairs.
Mhm.
But I should have, but I didn't recognize.
over cards, flush draws too.
Yeah,
Or-
I didn't, well, flush draws, yeah. I didn't recognize my pot odds situation here. I just didn't see it. I said the word fold, then I looked at his bet and went, oh, fuck. I didn't notice the size before saying fold. And by the way, he claimed that he had red nines, and I believe him.
Oh, the
Oh, okay.
pain.
I believe. Yep. So,
Interesting.
and it was
I mean, he
just,
said red nines, then yeah, I would believe that if he
it was
didn't
when he was
see
that
your
specific.
card.
He said red
Yeah.
nines. I
And
went,
he didn't see your hand, so I mean,
So with that, and that's not important what his hand was. The important thing was me making this mistake that I would not have made online. I would have seen that number clearly.
Yeah, this is one of the difficulties
Yeah.
in playing.
So,
yeah, I mess this up all the time.
so everything's wrong in this hand. Not recognizing the lack of pot odds here for the 5x. This I think is right. And then here, not going up. Got a call. Okay.
I was really wondering whether there's like a trainer to like count the chips with your eyes.
That's a good question.
That's what we might. But again, I don't think you should be counting it with your eyes. It's hard in those piles because $100 chips can get buried under and 20s. It's really easy
Yeah.
to hand.
I should just start
And you
I mean, I
can-
usually do pay attention to the sometimes, I like zone out.
Yeah, you should count as you go, but if you don't, you should take a minute and get this and get it there. All right. Queen, king, queen in the straddle, limp, raise, fold. I think this is a good ISO. Or not a good ISO, I think this is a good 3-bet out of position to the ISO, especially to an ISO of that size and that late.
And late position.
Yeah, let's go 130.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Call.
That is a thing.
Sure.
I can do that.
Yeah, well, you're strapped. Okay.
I mean, I'm out of position to 2 players, which is bad, but my hand plays easy, but it's a hand that's easy to play out of position again. It's not offsuit.
Yeah. Okay.
Very easy to play out of position. This hand is very easy to play. 40.
In
I
to
think
70.
now is the time to check raise. Yeah. And the check raise,
Oh, you have 1400 behind. Never mind.
yeah. I mean, yeah, now's a good time to check raise. So 150.
Yeah.
Fold. All right. And what's the why is this hand here? Cut off limps, but off. I thought about 3-betting.
Mhm.
This was why. This was the thing. When I called, the cutoff thought about back raising and then called.
Why do you think he thought that?
Saw him.
Like what? Counting out chips? Like he had like
No,
a
just
shit ton of chips out or
looking at
something?
his chips. Looking at his chips.
Mhm.
Or isn't he just thinking about calling or folding?
He doesn't need to look at his chip stack to decide that.
Oh, so you want to get away from the back. Then yeah.
I
That's
know.
smart.
I didn't see him back raise. No, it wasn't this. I didn't see him thinking about it at this moment. I didn't call because of that. I made my calling. I thought about 3-betting and
Mhm.
went, this time I'm going to call. Then he waits for a while, looks at his own chip stack
Hmm.
and puts in the call.
Hmm.
So that was what my read was, that he thought about back raising.
Like looking at his chips, yeah.
Then I get to fuck him. And this is the thing that happens on this raise. The cutoff says, I can't believe I'm laying this down.
There's no way.
What do you have? Jacks? Aces?
He
It
says
says he had
it says
ace
ace.
king.
He had aces? That's what he gets
It
for
says he had
being
ace king.
ace
What the
king.
actual fuck? And he laid it down.
How? Like, I don't understand.
He might be lying, but the guy's name, but the guy is not a young guy. He's a guy I've talked to about other things. It's a weird lie to go through the I can't believe I'm laying this down and then lie the hand.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I maybe laid down like King Jack here, but ace king is kind of crazy though. But okay.
I know. But
Should've just called it once.
maybe he knows Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he got a tell on you. I don't know.
Maybe.
Kind of out of etiquette to say that with the other guy still to act, right?
Oh no, you mean when he folded? No, this
So
is
when
after.
when he says, I can't believe I'm laying this down and then folds.
Yes. Yes. That's out of etiquette.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I don't remember the order.
What's
I,
that,
I
dude?
think the order was now, but it's possible that he folded, then the other guy folded and he said, I can't believe I laid that down. But I think it was I think that it was the gerund, I think it was not the gerund, in the present participle. But I think he said it this way, and I do think he said it before this guy, which is not good. I give a note to myself to shut up again, not because of this hand, but because people were probably talking poker.
It's a good fold. I mean, that's a good fold, right?
Yeah, good fold.
That's
Yeah, but it's like, why are people doing these good folds against me? I'm not enjoying this at all.
Yeah, it's a good fold. Okay.
Alright,
almost unbelievable.
like queens.
Right. I don't know why we see this guy has ace, 8-9. We're not supposed to know this yet. You don't know this yet. We're gonna squeeze
That pot record.
to
You could
120,
consider
135.
flatting here too, right?
Yeah.
Not with
Gets-
the dead money pushes me more to the squeeze. You disagree, Mike?
No, I'm not saying it's any worse or any better. I just think that it's an option here, as opposed to you would definitely want to ISO if it was heads up, and
Oh,
this makes it more of an ISO.
So against
I
early
mean,
position,
not ISO 3-bet.
yeah, okay, let's see that. I thought the queens do a fair amount of calling
Yeah,
against
do.
that. So let's do
they
this.
do.
Raise, button, the queens call a lot. Now let's put in call in there.
Against yeah, early
Call it a
position.
hijack. I think the queens now go, screw that.
But
Up.
Just squeeze,
They do
yeah.
it less,
Still call. Yeah, still call.
Yeah.
but here's the thing to notice.
Yeah.
They do it less often. So the ISO makes you want to raise not the ISO, the flatter makes you want to 3-bet more often.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50, right?
His money is dead, yeah. So either way is fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
half the time I'm going to raise this and I'm going to do that half the time, 100% of the time.
Mhm.
135 makes sense.
Okay, well, it's fine.
He checks.
No, he didn't knuckle.
We're going to bet.
You know,
Yeah, Nuffle would have been
Good for
great.
him.
Nuffle would have been great. He checks. We're going to bet this.
was it 15? Is it 3-bet at all? No, it's just call, right? So
It was a 3-bet.
100.
Raise,
Oh.
call, 3-bet, call. So this is a 3-bet pot.
There you go, like half pot here.
Pot.
Works.
100 is 100 is a big bet on the flop, not to the, but I mean, just for the game. 100, 120 seems good. 115. Anybody want to go bigger?
yeah, I kind of do.
On that board where.
How big, how big and how much and how why?
Like B50 to B75, I think would be a
Yeah,
good,
I think it's.
Okay.
like sizing up to your normal B33.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think that's an exploit.
Oh, I
So,
see what
yeah,
you mean.
you could size it up.
Oh,
pretty,
this is 33. That's B33, 115. It's a little bit,
I would go half pot here because of the board. I play the board half pot.
okay. What is it about the board that makes you want to go half and by the way,
I would
is
just
half-
rather not.
Your
have
nut
block
advantage.
queens.
Yeah, it's lower. It's not super connected. There's no completed equity there, but the 10-8-5 is no premiums. I go half pot.
Okay.
Blocking queen jack sucks though. But yeah.
Oh, he raises.
Fucking gangster.
Tiny raise. We're not
Oh.
considering folding now.
No.
Especially, yeah, that size is kind of dumb.
Yes, yeah, let's
It's
go to
the
the
same
10.
concept as what we talked about with my hand. I think that because
Squeeze.
we study a lot, we kind of write off the fact that they will do this with 8s and 10s.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, ace 10, king 10, I could see it. Yeah, doing this.
Now, do
We'll
we
do
want
this
to,
with
you want to
negative.
3-bet him? Do you want to bet 3-bet this or do you want to just call it?
I play it like Knuffle. I call it, and then when he leaves, that's the
I,
next one.
I,
All
I
right.
would not 3-bet on the board, not on this board.
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean, you just fold out bluffs.
Yeah.
Just keep them wide.
And I can get all the money in that I want to
Mhm.
because I'm in position.
Mhm.
And he checks.
So he doesn't. So he betches out. So I would bet here.
So
Okay.
what's your SPR? So your SPR is approaching 1. We'll call it 1.2, whatever. So now, what is in his check raise range that check raises and then checks turn?
King 10.
Eight.
Ace
Ace
10,
10.
Jack 10, Jack 10 suited, Ace 10 suited, pocket jacks, pocket queens.
Yeah, I just really don't like this king.
Trying to think if I would check.
So this king is not ideal because we'd like to block more king 10 suited,
Is he at,
but
what
I
did
think
he
we
raise?
still, I would like a B30, I think.
Okay. I made the less thinking default to my hand was premium on the flop, and after a check raise and a king, my hand is now a marginally made hand, and I just defaulted to that rather than thinking more about
Yeah.
what does he check raise check against this, and how do
Who's
I
that king better for, you or him?
whose range? It's better for my range.
I don't know if after the check raise, it's like I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
the
the,
check
it's the
raise.
same thing. I'm trying to go find these in your database. Find these in your database, and let's see if these check raises follow the same ratios and pattern as donk
It's
lead.
like a spot.
Right. We'll look at that. We'll look at that maybe.
No, yeah,
in
probably
2
right.
weeks.
Oh, can I interrupt? I have another idea for a database search,
Yes.
which would be when we bet and then river we're dunked into. I'd love to see what those ranges are, or any situation
Oh yeah, yeah.
where we bet turn,
Mhm.
river dunked
Oh.
into, or bet, river dunked into.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
If
love
we see
bluffing
those
that river
face up,
dunk.
if we see those face up, that'd be quite interesting.
I have so many of those where I do the bluff on the river for like.
Mhm.
Now here's the, oh, sorry.
So I think we respond like you naturally respond like the check raise and the donk river is 70% that they have the hand, but it's not. It's like 40% that they have the hand.
Yeah, we're gonna look at that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a very interesting one.
On this board, I mean, on this card, I don't mind a small bet. I don't think I want to do a big bet.
Yeah, B30.
A B30, you know, something that keeps a 10 in. I like that. And I don't hate a check back here. I don't hate it because with this SPR, I can jam river if I want to. I don't think I
So
want to anymore, but I
I have
can.
a question for
I
you.
don't need to get more money in. Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
If you did not know that you had queens and the hand played like this, what would you do versus that king?
I would bet the king if I had to play this hand without knowing my own cards
Mm-hmm.
and I called the check raise,
Mm-hmm.
I would bet the king. But one of the reasons I would do that is because I don't know my cards. I know that I have to win the hand. I know I have to win the hand by aggression. I can't win the hand by checking back. If you don't tell me my hand, but you tell me that at this moment you have a hand that can win at showdown, I would check. If you just said, I'm not going to tell you your hand, but you have a chance of winning at showdown, I would say, then let's check.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's because I feel like with this much money in the pot, like you're not really gonna get the hearts to fold that much. Like you're not really denying too much equity. I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to think what well, that card kind of sucks, but you're blocking the straight draw too.
Oh, and by the way, on this check here, before I did this check on the turn,
So
I
yeah,
thought forever. This is me thinking forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it checks okay though. I feel like
Then he jams the river.
That 9 is dangerous.
Oh,
To that 8. That 9 is
but
dangerous.
having the queens is like so like I guess 6-7, right?
That 9 sucks, man.
I think that if he had Jack Queen here, if he check
Mhm.
raised a 2 over cards and a straight, when the king comes and he gets more equity, I think he bets it.
Mhm.
I was thinking like 10-9.
But 10-9, but
Yeah.
10-9 works, 9-8 works.
9, yeah.
Pocket 9 doesn't work.
You not betting that king means now you have to fold. Because you kept that 8 in. That's bad.
I thought about it. I thought about
I'm
folding.
just
That's
thinking
bad.
like having the queens is so nice. Not blocking the heart, or actually you probably
Yeah,
yes.
I
Think
blocked.
about what
block check.
population has when they do this. So if they have 8s and 5s or a 10, but more like 8s in the middle is where what else do they have to
They
go?
didn't check the king. They
Yeah,
continue.
it's right to do
What'd
the
you say?
check flop.
That if he has pocket eights or pocket
No,
10
not pocket eights, not eights, not pocket eights.
or
Any
and
eight.
eight,
And eight. If he has an eight, and an eight makes up an 8 or a 10 makes up about 50 to 60% of his check raise range.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
What happens
'cause-
when that, what happens? What else comes along with an 8 or a 10?
a jack, a nine, a nine,
nine.
Ace 10, king 10, yeah.
Yeah, a 9.
seven, no, a nine, more than a
A
seven.
9. A 9.
A lot
A
of nines.
9. A 9 is horrible here.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Really bad.
Yep. It was $1,100
I'm
for.
guessing he never checks king 10 on the turn here.
Mm-mm.
I don't think
If he has an 8, if you're following knuckle logic and he has an 8, the worst card you can possibly see is
Yeah.
Is an eight
10
or
9 is actually what I would.
Or an 8.
Yeah.
An 8, a
Mhm.
9, or a 7 is bad too, but that 9's horrible. Man.
Because I'm thinking ace 10. I was thinking like ace 10 first, and then but then like he wouldn't do that on the river. So like 10 9 actually kind of
So
fits the
yeah,
story.
it's like with this kind of logic, it's like, all right, the 8 and the 10. What goes
Yeah.
on with an 8 and a 10?
The nine is the worst card for both the 8 and the 10 when you put them
Both
together.
the 8 and the 10 is horrible.
Yeah.
It's super bad.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
That's it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I
Anybody-
guess people check raising second pairs is somewhat common too.
We're gonna
And
find
then,
out. We're gonna look
Jack,
at
it
it.
completes Jack Queen, but you're blocking the Queen.
Who here is folding? Who here is folding on this river? Obviously, Scotty isn't. Adrian is considered. Adrian, were you definitely folding, or were you just miserable? And then just
I know I'm losing, and I probably call.
You
I know
fold,
I'm
okay.
losing.
who
I
else
know
is
I'm losing.
who else is folding the river here?
Evidently I
think,
am. You can see from my hand I showed at the beginning.
Yes, that's true.
I think a club would have been a call for me, so I don't know.
Or
That's
when-
how I randomize just the suits on the river.
That's a good idea too. If you
I'm just
have,
like I'm gonna
yeah,
it's like I'm gonna bluff if
Possibly.
spade comes in, or if I'm gonna call if a thing comes in.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Dean would have called, or you would have folded. Dean, you said I would have. N
I mean that 9 completes
fold. Okay,
yeah,
everything that he
nine's
would have
rough.
done.
all right.
That he would have done with that with the knuckle logic, Matt. That 9 completes all his draws, all his
Yeah.
8 9, everything.
Yeah, 10 9 8 9.
10
And this is
9,
gonna be my-
8 9, 6 7. It's all dead.
And then
But
this will
even
be
just,
last
yeah.
hand. This will be my last hand.
A weak king maybe.
All right, we're in the small blind with ace 3. And okay.
no,
And so we just decide, we just decide that it's included in that range. So let's do it. Because you don't always have to have pocket queens to do it. We would have preferred to get a fold there.
So pocket jacks actually.
All right, I think this is a continue to bluff flop. Very nice. This is a good bluff this is a good bluff situation. And my hand is a good bluff. So we go for a bluff size. Get called, that's bad. That's good.
That's really good.
Very
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
Let's
This is
continue. Let's not slow down.
The good old I think this might be an overbet.
Yeah, so
Um,
with this ace here, if we do this,
maybe it's
what is his, so at this moment, when he calls this, what is his range? He's got some 9x, he's got some pocket 8s, pocket 7s, pocket 10s, all those are in his range. He has some straight draws, he has some flush draws, all those are there.
Yes, 2 5.
He
5,
could have, he probably doesn't have ace 9.
Mhm.
He probably folded ace 9 already, so
Eight-
maybe
8-7 could still 8-7 could still hit the straight 8-7 7 6 6 5.
8-7 I think folds on the flop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he folds the flop there. So like that. So when this ace comes,
That's ace 9 too.
I don't think we try to get value anymore from his 10s and 8s and 7s. I think they're done. I think we got everything we were going to get from them. And so now we should be targeting his flush draws, his backdoor flush draws, and his ace X that continued mostly the ace X of hearts.
From a GTO perspective,
I think we can bet big.
you bet big, or we mean 80%, or you can't overbet because there's complete
It's gonna be
equity.
weird. Yeah, it's actually
Yeah. So-
Completed equity is deuce five. I'm not worried about deuce five.
Right. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying that if using overbet logic, you can't do it when there's completed equity, even the deuce five.
Well, how does
No,
he have
not
to do
complete.
5-2 that he calls to a 3-bet?
Right, no,
many-
that's what I'm saying,
Who
Adrian,
knows?
that isn't true. It has to be
Okay.
completed equity that is in his range for
In
it
his
to,
range? Okay.
it has to be. Yeah, you can take that out. Now, you can add in, we don't know his range. We don't know how people play, and the solver knows exactly what the range of its opponent is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It knows it to the decimal point, and we don't. So
Excuse me.
we've got, if we overbet, can we just jam? We could jam here.
Yeah, 655, sure.
We could jam for 2x pot, but I
Yeah,
think that that's a little strong for ace three. I think I don't think I want to knock out all the things for that. So I think anything from 400 to 800 is good here.
Yeah, let's give him a price where a poor player and a gambler calls his draws.
Hmm.
We went 300, which is
Half pot.
not as big as our conversation now, but it sets up a very nice river size.
Yeah,
All right,
that he's willing to call.
Ah!
Nuts.
nuts. I think we check and evaluate.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I-
As a misclick account. Just like,
Ooh,
Yeah,
buddy.
Right. Now, however, while this is a terrible play on my part,
it's like almost a bluff.
I
but-
think that I get the same result. This is a terrible play on my part, and he has the 5-6 of hearts,
Oh, yeah.
which is believable.
Yeah.
So
Six,
let's go
five,
back
yeah,
and
the-
think about,
the
He's never folding.
absolute one.
so I think of you as someone who likes, well, we talk often about front loading.
Yeah.
I think you like to front load against draws.
Yeah, I do.
And
This is not,
now you chose not to front load here. I mean, your size is a B50. He's not getting the odds to call, especially because of a low flush. Maybe he has, you can argue, he has applied odds in position.
he has an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw.
Oh, I'm doing really good today.
I'm folding.
Remind me not to come to this after drinking last night.
Yeah. That sucks.
I think I should have lost my money in a different order.
Yeah.
How? What do you mean? You should have went bigger on the turn
Jesus.
than he calls.
I
and
should have
then
bet, I should have said to myself, you're not trying to get a call anymore from the other pairs. That's what I was trying, this 300
Yeah.
is small because it's thinking about the other pairs. I should have said
Mm.
aces and draws.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I
Aces and
I
draws.
always-
Call.
I always think,
In that
Six,
case,
seven,
it's an
800.
overbet. That's an overbet then, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, 6, 7, 800.
Like,
Yeah,
like
that's an overbet.
in these spots, I always think like if I'm gonna check or bet small, just to let them, get the draws to call, it's just tough because like they either hit their draw and then you lose, or they can bluff if like, the other draw hits, like on a double, on a really like wet board like this.
I mean, Hungry
It's just
Horse
like-
considers draws to be inelastic, right?
Depends on the draw. Some draws are inelastic. This is an inelastic draw.
Inelastic draw, right?
This one is.
With the combo.
One he has is inelastic.
Yeah, so you would just smash it.
So I'm saying-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I should have bet like 6 here, 6, 7, 8. He
Seven.
calls, and then I lose my money on the river in a different order.
Yeah.
And I do lose. I'm calling him on the river when I go
Yeah.
6,
Yeah,
7,
that-
because he's got
Yeah.
nothing left.
Okay.
My bet here is I'm not folding to his bet. And I don't think that he's gonna turn I don't think he's got diamonds as often that he's putting diamonds in a draw, and I think he has an ace, and his ace checks back, and I beat his aces. I think when this 10 comes, he checks back a lot of his aces, so that's where my bet comes from.
I see.
So this is probably, I don't know how bad this is.
Pair bet.
If you had an ace of hearts.
I didn't have 2
maybe-
pairs here. I think it's a really
Would
good.
it make sense? I don't know. It makes sense. Does it make sense if you have ace of hearts, you're blocking the nut, but you're valuing still? Like,
Yeah. Feels kind of
maybe.
spazzy.
Okay,
Yeah.
It feels kind of spazzy, that two bet donk off there, but I mean, you know,
yeah.
if you check and he jams, you're still calling, right?
Yes.
All right, well, then it's no lose, right?
No, it's a lose in that if well, here's the first thing. Let's you guys. Here's the river. You check the
Mhm.
river and he jams. What are you gonna do?
You said you would call, right?
No, I'm asking you guys. What are you doing here with two pair? Check.
Ah.
Is the river on the
I
10?
mean, unless I have a read, I'm probably just gonna call. I mean, I'm just like
Yeah.
the way that hand played out. I mean,
Mm,
Yeah, you call every time. It's just a question of whether we bet or not, because then he checks back ace X, ace jack, ace king, ace queen.
Right.
Would I pot control here? Let me think. I don't think I think I would just bet. I would block bet. I love block bet.
I would be highly upset with myself for not overbetting the turn. Is the first thing, and then I just call out of frustration and lose.
Okay.
I feel like block bet would at least get a ace 10 to not bet bigger for value.
Right.
But I don't know if they would
Block bet. You can block bet this
it's,
river.
yeah,
Although
because I just like pricing
yeah,
my own you know,
this
like it's
SPR,
not
at this SPR, do you want to block bet? Or a better question. Here's a better question. I'm going to give you a block bet here. I'm going to give you a block bet of 200.
yeah,
He's gonna
200 is
jam
like
over
what I
your
was
200.
thinking.
Are you going to
Mhm.
call or fold to his jam? So you put in 200. There's 1400 in the pot. He puts in another 680. It's 680 for you to
Yeah,
win.
I mean I don't think I'm gonna fold, but
In that case, then
it's more of like if he had a hand that's like slightly beating mine, he would just call instead of maybe like pricing it at 300 or 400. Like if he had like ace 9, ace
it's
10,
done. So here's
or,
my opinion of that.
fuck, yeah, something he wouldn't shove, but I guess he would still shove it. I mean, it's only like
Over the
800
course of
bucks.
your life, this is we mentioned this early in the game. I just wanted to keep it in your mind. This doesn't mean the
Mhm.
block bet is wrong, but this is what's wrong about the block bet. There are other things about the block bet that's good. You know, it does accomplish some things. For example, if he just calls with ace 10, the block bet, and doesn't raise you, that's great. And you only lose 200. And if he would have jammed had you checked. So that's great. But here's what it does. Whenever he has ace king, an ace deuce, an ace not, an ace eight, he doesn't raise you and he loses $200. Whenever he has a flush or a set that he decides to raise or a, you know, or the
Any
ace
like
10 that does
sets.
decide to raise you, anytime he decides to raise you and you don't fold, you lose 880. So when you beat him, you get 200. When you lose 880.
Mhm.
And all the folds are the
That's
same.
4 to 1.
You go
Yeah.
through that with your life, you end up losing on that bet.
Really?
Yeah,
See why?
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like
You
block
got
bet should be
label.
balanced with like if you rivered, well, I guess you had uh the aggression, but I was thinking like if you were the one who hit the flush on the river, or you the one who hit the because I would also block bet in those spots, but only if I was um are donk bets considered block bets?
Nope, nope, they're not called donks. You can
Okay.
donk
So you're
block
saying
bet
if you hit a
and
flush
donk
here,
block
you
bet, but I'm not donking. I raised it. I bet
Like
it street.
if
saying
they were
you-
barreling into me and
And
then
at the flop, at the
I
turn,
hit the river, but I don't even think they have that. I mean, it really depends on how strong I think they can call. Like strong hands, like I'm pretty sure still like would block bet in certain spots,
so
but maybe not at this SPR.
Dean or
Uh,
Mike, talk about why you like the bet of 50 and 100. What do you like about those bets?
I mean, it accomplishes kind of everything that we're talking about. Because if you go, because what's the pot? 800 or 1,000 something? What is it on the river? So 1,200. So if you go like B33, 400, you have 400 left.
Right.
And then if he jams, it's like, God, can we fold two pair? And not really.
Right.
But then you also like you go B400, they call with their ace X.
Right.
If you go with like, this cheeky little B10, which is in this case 120.
Yeah.
You know, you make it B100 and they jam. Maybe you're inducing, so that you know they can exploit raise you, assuming you're going to fold.
Mhm.
So, but maybe they just call with ace 10 and ace king and ace queen and ace jack.
Well, you love it when they call with ace 10 and you hate it when they call with ace king, ace queen, and ace jack.
But if they're also raising all their nuts, all their flushes, and then you're folding.
Right. So with
Yeah,
that in mind, what,
That's
so
that's
with that in
interesting.
mind, which do you like better? The check or the bet 120?
It's really hard, man. You
Yeah,
didn't.
I never thought about that long. I mean, I do know about the long term thing, but it's like I never thought about that for this specific spot. Because I would now I'm thinking I have to balance it with like me block betting with like a stronger hand to induce a bluff.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know how I
You have to
would
block,
like
you have to
now I'm
block
thinking
all
of the yeah, now I'm thinking of balance. Like I don't know what hands I would in this spot specifically.
So given that the turn was under bet, so there wasn't a whole lot of elimination done there. Didn't really do anything. I think the river's just a check. You didn't eliminate anything on the turn. Like you can't really define his range.
Yeah.
That 300 bet doesn't do anything.
knocked out some 9x.
Maybe.
I knocked out pocket eights and pocket
Over-
sevens, and pocket sixes.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
I mean,
cards.
with no diamonds, I guess. I mean, it's
The
just
heart. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, 8-8 of,
not
8-8 of
enough.
hearts. So,
But
so give him 8-8 of hearts. He opens,
mhm,
I 3-bet him, he calls. I
right.
bet a third, I bet, uh, about half pot. He calls 8 of spades, 8 of hearts. Now the
Mhm.
ace comes, I bet half pot, he folds that. So that's what he folded.
Yeah, does
uh,
that give you enough elimination to put him on either on the river or on a flush or set? I don't, does that give you enough
No, he has all,
elimination to do
he
that?
he has all his aces here. He has
Yeah,
ace that called. The problem is
Oh.
that one of the aces that called is the ace 4.
yeah.
what do you
That's,
mean by like the elimination? Like if he
so if
folded
I if
more of
I'm
his
if I'm over betting here, then I know that he's either I'm thinking if I'm over betting here, especially the way the action went, because
Hmm.
what was the pre-flop action again?
Raise 3-bet call.
Raise 3-bet call. My ace is better than his. So he's gonna fold out some of his aces here. Some of his suited aces. He's gonna fold out his 8 of hearts, all of his pairs. He's never gonna fold his sets. And if he has like a straight, some kind of draw combination, he's not gonna fold that. So it just narrows down the hands a lot more.
If you bet like you mean like if you had bet more and then you filter out more hands than you would
Yeah,
have
I'm filtering
would
out
you
all of his lesser holdings. So then when the
how,
river hits,
Mhm.
I know I'm fucked, right? So
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
I see.
you see
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying?
But also
Yeah.
you're fucked, but you probably can't fold for the sizing. So you go, let's give you a
Well,
nice,
yeah. So the game's
Okay.
already, the bet size,
Yeah,
it's
that's
already done. The decision's
yeah,
already made, right?
yeah,
Decision's
let's
already
bet
made.
750 here and get
Yeah.
the pot up to 2300.
Mhm.
And he's got 300 and he's got 300 left. It's like, yep, you have me
Yeah,
beat.
then it's all in. It doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
The way that it was played, you didn't really eliminate
So you'd
anything on
rather
the
check.
turn, and then you get to the river, and you have this horrible decision you have to make.
I
Yeah.
see.
And
So
it's
that's why
like
you
at
check
that point, I'm just checking, man, and I'm just checking and seeing what he does.
and like maybe call Swan off that. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what I would
don't
do.
know.
I might spaz and just call
But
it.
that makes
All in,
that makes
but
sense though. Yeah, if you
yeah,
feel
but
that.
after
But
after not making the right play on the turn, I would
but
just
that means here like you would call it since it wasn't filtered if it was a jam uh, since it wasn't filtered enough like you
then
would
you
call
got
here
yeah,
more
you call.
likely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're more likely to
Yeah,
call.
we're talking in this specific case about losing my money in a different order, but that is of real value.
Right, if he didn't have that hand, yeah.
Another cue here for why to make the overbet on the turn. I'm agreeing with you, Adrian. Double flush board.
Yeah, I mean,
Double flush
it's,
board.
you left a lot in there, man. That's
And you have the nut
Yeah.
advantage too.
yeah.
Yeah, so those are all good reasons to overbet there.
Yeah.
Mike, you want to do a hand to close us out?
I've got some lined up, but Richie said he has a cool one.
Oh, Richie one? Okay, let's do Richie's hand. I didn't see the Richie thing. Is Richie back?
I'm here, yeah. I'm
Alright, let's
here.
do it.
I'm happy for you to go, Mike. It's maybe a
Oh,
cool
no,
one. It
Mike
might
goes
be.
all the time. We'll do Mike next week. Screw Mike. He doesn't even have live hands. He has these online things in his database.
Mine's an online one that I put into a replayer so that the
Thank you.
screenshot doesn't spoil it.
It's fine. Do it. We'll do in yours. Just lie to us and tell us it was live. Today was
It's live.
oh good. What stake?
Um,
25 cent, 50 cent. Oh, really?
do you want to me to send you the link, or do
No,
you
share
want me
Share it.
share it? Is it
Right.
okay?
Run your screen. Let's
So I'll
see
just
your background.
is that sharing? No. Ah, I haven't clicked that button.
What
There we
button
go.
is-
There we go. Okay, so I'm keeping it hidden for the minute because I don't want to spoil anything,
That's
but
good.
I feel like this might be interesting. Okay, so
Right.
the hero is in the small blind. Okay, it's our range is a 3-bet range, so it's not deviating from a range. Okay, so the actual cards we have are within a 3-bet range.
Yeah. We believe
Okay,
you. We believe you.
so they call. Okay. Obviously, this favors the 3-betters range more than the callers range, I would say. So
Oh.
I decided to continue.
Good.
Okay. And they call. Obviously, my
Yeah.
thoughts are they're calling with pretty much all their pocket pairs, right? They're calling with their draws, so flush draws, etc. Blah blah blah. So
Question.
yeah,
this
go
one.
on.
I'm not saying you should. King Deuce. Is this one of our boards that we would bet big on?
No, this is a range bet.
Okay, it's pure range bet. All right, great. We range bet. I mean, there is a such thing as a range bet big. It exists.
Wait.
Uh,
So
yeah, maybe.
the paired kings aren't
I-
betting half. They should be betting half pot, shouldn't they?
Let's take a look. Let's see peak size for this.
Can do it. I haven't
Right.
actually put this properly through a solver. I did quickly, but then I didn't save it, and now I can't review it because of how solvers work.
Gotta get-
I thought
this
the
is
paired
from
kings, the paired kings was half. It sizes up the higher the pair goes. So I would have thought that would have been like half.
No flush draw. King Deuce.
Because they're
And
both
there's the
they're
flush
both
draw
pretty.
there.
Look
they're
at
both
that.
pretty equal in
Range
range.
bet
equity, though.
big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
it's,
big?
big is
it's
it?
at least
How big?
half pot. Yeah, at the very
Okay.
least.
Can you share the screen?
Oh, sorry, you guys didn't see
Shall I
this.
stop sharing?
Yeah, no, I'll just steal it from you.
Yeah,
I-
because you got the flush draw increases the
ability
bet
of
value,
and
and the higher the pair, the bet value goes.
Here we go.
okay, that's interesting.
Range bet big.
So is
And by the way,
there
you're
Range
small-
bet big in a 3-bet pot. That's
But your
that's-
two is a two of spades. The two is wrong.
Oh, there's a flush draw?
There's a
It
flush
might
draw.
Yeah, there
lower,
is a flush
it's
draw,
gonna
yeah.
lower it
That matters.
quite a bit
Okay,
probably.
That matters.
It might still be a half.
Still
pot.
range bet, but how often, but does it bring the big, it brings the percentage of big down.
It's pretty split now, right?
50%,
Yeah.
50%, something like that. 50%
Great.
pot,
All right, let's go on. Let me
60%.
stop the share.
Yeah.
Had it riding that money on that half pot.
So that's good to know because I didn't actually know we would have big bets here. I would have gone small bet because with a king I would also want to keep in their weaker ones, and if I went big I might feel like I'm isolating them. However, pocket pairs are probably still not going to fold because they're thinking there's two on the board. He doesn't have one, which is one of the reasons why I continued the way I am. Because it also hits my range. So yeah, so basically they call. We go on to the next card.
Share screen.
Oh, sorry.
I took it away from you, so now you have to.
Yeah, you did. So yeah, basically I did 33% and they called. So then we go to the turn and there's a 3 of hearts now.
Right.
So obviously the 3 is in theory better for them, but the kings are still better for me. So I think this is still
3 is a non-card. It doesn't exist.
That's a 2 or 3 is not really.
3 is a
fair enough. Okay. So I think to myself, I'm still betting this. This is better for my range. And if I had the king, I would still be betting this. So as well as my other cards that fall into the range. So I continue, but I go maybe, I'm a bit unsure about sizing here, but I actually go with a 75%, which might be too big.
I like
I think that
That's
I
good.
I love it.
You think
I
it's
like-
fine?
I
I'll
do.
be interested to see what you think when it comes to the river.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
No, the 75% is, you can't overbet it because it's a paired board, so that's good.
That's fine. So bet it, they call. Okay, so now I'm thinking they're really set on the draw or their high pairs because their smaller pairs would have dropped now, right? You know,
And a king.
maybe
They
they
still have
have the
other kings.
twos they're trapping me with, right? And etc. But yeah, mine is they're likely just draw into the spades or they are have a
Sticky.
pair that they're sticking with, right? Because there's two kings on the board. I'm unlikely going to have a king. Maybe their pair's good, right? That's some of their logic. Okay. And then the ace of king comes. The ace of spades comes. And I think to myself now, right, this is perfect for my range. What does everyone put you on? Aces, kings, ace, king, right? If they have a king, then obviously I don't have kings in my range, right? Because they've got one of the other kings.
They
So
would have the
here
ace
I
of spades.
just rip it. Rip it.
They-
Okay.
Yeah,
This should
Um,
work. This should
I
get,
think it's
get,
good.
get an under pair to fold. This is not gonna get a king to fold ever.
No, I did
Yeah.
think it wouldn't get a king to fold. Some
The ace of
kings
spade though
might
is going to
fold.
be a big part of their range.
I'm not-
Yeah,
But
the ace of spades as well. You know, they might not fully believe, and now they've got an ace, etc.
Mhm.
And so I rip it, and they do fold. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
after they called.
What?
I think
What
this
is
is
their range? What is mine?
I think this is a great line for just about anything you three bet with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are happy with it.
This
You're
is
in
a really
agreement
good
with it.
turn.
Yeah.
If, flop, turn, and river is actually like
5, 6
fully
of
hits your thing.
diamonds.
Like, you could do this with 5, 8 of diamonds if you wanted to. I mean,
He doesn't have 5, 8 of diamonds. It was the
Well, I know
real.
he doesn't have.
He
It's
also
not
doesn't
his
have
range.
You also
But
have
this
video
is-
with 5, 6 of
I'd
diamonds.
do
Yeah,
it
you play
pocket,
the
yeah,
board.
pocket
That's
eights,
good.
pocket nines, pocket tens,
Yeah.
how it is.
I don't like it.
Nice.
I like
Okay,
it
then
down.
it isn't as I thought. Is this spewy? I thought, is this spewy? But based
I
on
mean,
some
you're
of the
gonna
hands
get
you're
called
saying,
sometimes,
it's not
so.
spewy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Jack
think
of diamonds.
yeah, and I think the size, like
No, that's great.
I think you can go like jam like you did with your bluffs
Yeah.
and your nuts here, and then you could size down, let's say, with some other hands that you could still get value from. Like say you had some kind of ace, ace rag or something, and you got to there on the river.
I would check it.
Check or bet
What with an
small.
ace, you would check it.
Like
is it?
block bet. I think you could block bet.
You block bet the ace. Okay.
Or something like pocket queens. Block bet.
Mm.
Uh,
Because
I
I
didn't-
was unsure on
I
this
checked,
because
I checked the
Could you
queens.
get, I was like, could you
This
get
hits-
called?
this obviously all hits my rate. Like I have, in theory, the net advantage here, right? So
You have the nut advantage on the flop. You don't have the nut advantage on the turn.
on the river, I have the net advantage though, right? Because I have the
They
aces,
should have
I have the
folded
ace
up.
king, I have
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
right.
also their ace
Yes.
X.
Yes, after you bet the turn, you probably have the nut advantage on the river.
Yes.
But you don't have the
It's
nut
like-
advantage on the turn and you don't have the range advantage on the turn.
No, I don't have the net advantage on the turn because obviously they could have the low pocket pairs, right? So they have the net advantage on the turn, but on the river when the ace comes in, the net advantage goes back in my favor because
Oh, no, that's not why.
No, you
Right.
still have. He still has kings and ace king. How does he not have the nut advantage?
Because when he bet on the flop, he bet range. Villain did not call range. Villain's range is filtered.
reduced.
Hero's range
Yeah.
is not filtered.
Polarized.
Therefore, on the turn, hero no longer has the range advantage.
Oh, because he
Just like
didn't,
small blinds polarized
there's no
betting.
elimination.
Like,
Yeah,
No,
so
small
I have
blind
my
is not
complete
filtered.
range, their range is
Full blind is
reduced.
there with every hand. He
Okay.
hasn't been filtered, whereas villain folded out lots of garbage that makes no sense. Hero still has queen jack of hearts here.
Mhm.
Oh, I
right?
guess if you play it,
On the
oh,
turn.
does it? Okay, I forgot this plays it
Right.
like that.
Now-
Like,
Okay.
Do you have the nut advantage? Well, you have the nuttiest of hands. You have pocket kings and he doesn't. You have ace king and he doesn't. But it's not
I
just,
have aces.
it's also
as
your
well.
ratio. It's also your ratio with your range. He's folded a bunch of his stuff that was gone. He still has all of his kings and the kings are pretty nutty. But when the ace comes on the river, you probably get the nut advantage back. Probably do. I don't know. Because you are then filtered. When you bet the turn big, you are filtered because you're not betting range on the turn.
So my thought was, did I go too big on the turn so that in theory this river shove now is the SPR is different, right? So that because this is like very small, really. They in theory only have to be what called 60 blinds to win 200. It's like a 25%, right? They have
If
to be
you're
right.
bluff, if you're
Is-
planning, if you're on a bluff on the turn and you know you're on a bluff on the turn, you haven't left yourself enough on the river. So you
Exactly.
you either have to make it a 2-street game or bet smaller.
Yeah.
If you
If
say
it's a value hand, then you think the sizing is correct. But if it's a bluff hand, the sizing is incorrect.
it's
Okay.
if the opponent's like you're saying like really condensed on the turn and then after the flop turn river, then I guess you would need the sizing to be like right, or else like this would just be called like I don't know like
And the question is, would you
trying to
want
think,
to
like-
bluff the ace on the river? So there are a lot of cards that you would want to bluff on the river. Would you want to bluff the ace? I think so.
I think so, right?
Because
This
because the
is why
ace
I
makes
went
it
for it.
easier for him to fold makes it easier for him to fold queens and tens and jacks.
Hmm.
unless you get unless you get queens king.
Yeah. Queens
I
and kings.
don't-
You could check call for like the it depends what your ace is. I
No,
guess.
he's saying bluff. If he's bluffing when the ace comes on the river, is the
Oh, okay. I was like,
ace a good
okay,
card
like,
to continue to bluff with? And I think the
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
is
yeah.
yes.
I think it is, right? If the ace didn't come, so I was bluffing and I had pocket sevens.
Right.
Yeah,
Perfect. That's like that is.
yeah.
With the 7 of spades.
I
good
think
shit.
I think you put that in the solver area. We'll play exactly like that.
Mhm.
Oh, you don't need the 7 of spades.
No, you don't want the seven of spades, right? I
think
didn't do
it
this
might have.
with yeah. The seven of spades you don't want because obviously you're blocking one of their flush draws, right? So
You
shouldn't
want
be
it
doing this
until
with
the
seven of spades.
river. Until the river. You want the. I think it prefers it on the flop turn, but on the river you'd rather. No,
If-
but it's like I think either way. It's
If
like
the
we're
board,
talking
if
about
the board isn't paired, then you really want the 7 of spades when you decide to start this bluff because you want because you want both of your set outs to be clean. You don't want someone else to get a flush when you hit your trips, your set. But when the board is paired, you don't care about that because your set is a full house and you don't care if they get a flush. In fact, matter of fact, you'd like them to get a flush.
Yeah.
Strangely, you're better off for that line, you're better off with 7 of clubs, 7 of diamonds. But it's nice to when they're on the flush draw for you to block them getting there.
Yeah, I was thinking like it blocks your continuing range if they have the 7 of spades.
Okay.
So it's more likely they can fold. But I mean, I don't know.
Good
It's
bluff.
just a guess.
You very easily may have bluffed him off 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, or you may have bluffed him off the queen jack of spades that you had beat.
Yeah, I know, and that's wondering what. So the
It's
other
great
thing
fold
was,
equity.
do I check because the draw hasn't got there, but then have to potentially call their bluff, right? So
Mm.
I
No,
just decided, you know
you
what,
can't
this
call.
is my range.
not
I
check
don't
that.
want to know if I want to call their bluff,
can't
their
call.
potential bluff. I'm
It-
going to put
if-
them in the position where they've got to call my bluff / my polarized range, right?
You mean if they shipped it on the river? Or
Yeah, so if I check to them on the river and then they ship it, I then have to decide are they bluffing and I've got a black catcher scenario. And I just thought I'm
I
going
sometimes-
for they've got to call me.
I
Yeah.
sometimes think about that, and I would always think like if that's the case that you think about calling there, like you're not polarized enough, but also this range isn't even polarized, so I'm not sure.
Give it your exact hand now. What do you think of a smaller turn bet that gives you more strength of your river bluff?
That was the main thing that stood out for me when I reviewed this hand was I felt like I went too big on the turn to make my river bluff more, I guess, have fold equity, right? I think that was my biggest concern with this. I don't regret doing the bluff. Obviously, it worked as well, and I wouldn't regret if they called me because in my head I'm like, well, I have the nut advantage, right, on the river, just to clarify. But I wasn't comfortable with the size that it left for them. Then I thought, realistically, I'm probably going to get called by a lot here. So I wasn't sure if it was too closer to the spewy side rather than the range bluffing side, if you get me.
Yeah.
No, I
It would
would,
suck if they called you at tens, man. I would just feel like Tens, jacks,
Oh,
Queen high,
oh,
just hoping you have.
So obviously the villain I did this against, I had them down more as not a straightforward player, more of a regular player, right? So not someone who was just going to be loose calling. So I thought they were potentially someone who would fold
Good.
this type. I wasn't just doing it to a random opponent.
Excellent. All right. Next week, our plans will include 100 hands from Daniel. If you get,
Mhm.
play 100 hands this week in your online, so we can just run through the database, and we're just going to go
Okay.
quickly through every hand. Don't worry about the fact that we're going to look at it. Just do it.
Oh yeah.
That'll be great.
I was wondering if what if it's a website that's doesn't track it? Can I have a video? Yeah.
A video of
Doesn't
it.
matter if I.
Yeah, we could do it with video. We'll just that's what-
No, that gets pretty cumbersome. You can export your
I
game,
mean-
right?
No, because I can do ignition too, but like
the
if it's
unnamed
like
site. You can do it. Yeah, play it on an
Yeah,
unnamed
unnamed
site.
well, I would have like edited it, so it's just the hands. But yeah, okay.
No,
Okay.
so the deal is we want to be able to see like inflow. Like don't pick a random session. Like don't cherry pick one where you thought you played well or one where you thought you played bad. Let it be random so that we can we're gonna go through
Oh,
and see
okay.
like inflow, like pre-flop everything. Like
Okay, I have a lot.
you know what I
of
mean?
those.
Like don't cherry pick hands. Make it be random, just like so. It's just like, hey, here's me in a raw setting, not a session where I was trying something new or I played really good or I ran good or I ran bad. Just random.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then the two things that we want to do for the database is we want to do check raise flop spot, check raise V check raised flop, and we want to do donk riv.
Yeah, especially when we bet.
Yeah.
Flop, we bet turn, and then we get donked on river.
Right. That's what we will look for, and I'll see if I figure out how to do those other ones. Okay. Show
Alright,
months. All right. Great job, everybody. And we didn't have to look at any of Mike's hand. Thank God. Enough of his Nuffle bullshit. See ya.
alright,
Yeah. Yep. Great.
see you next week.
All right. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.